What's up, guys? My name is Ted DarkClaw, and with me, as always, is the Blacknight. We are the co-owners of helladopetoys.com, where the toy people, for the toy people, in this show is Helladope. Aaron, how the hell are you doing?
Dude, man, I'm good, man. A real chill Saturday, or I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's Sunday. I took the boy to the Columbus Toy and Game Show. He found tons of stuff, but he only had a $20 limit, so he had to choose wisely on what he had to pick out. But he picked out. Well, the missus got him a little Pokemon, like those like pouches, you like put pencils and stuff in. So he's got one of them. And then he ended up buying a Pac-Man, the little Pac-Man arcade game, little mini one.
Okay, nice.
It's about like that tall. Yeah. So he got nice little goodies. I got me some little goodies. I sent you a picture of that earlier.
I saw some pictures. You got some goodies.
So yeah, that was my Sunday, man. How was yours?
I don't know, man. This whole week's a blur. So happy I'm here in church. That's about all I got. I'm not that interesting, man.
That's all right.
I'm not that interesting at all. But we do have somebody here tonight that is way more interesting than both of us combined.
Indeed.
Oh. I'm kidding.
Some guy that we found on the internet. And he's like, hey, just join our show today. So
I randomly DM'd some guy and I was like, hey man, what you doing? No, our guest tonight is the authority currently in G.I. Joe collecting. YouTuber, military man, all around really awesome guy. I would like to welcome. It's Chad. It's Chad. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Gentlemen, how are you? How's church so far?
The gospel's always good, man.
Yeah.
The choir singing that hella dope, the hymn of hella dope.
Hey, it's hella dope day.
and chat.
Oh, and now and Chad.
Yeah.
And Chad.
Yes. What's new? What's good?
Surviving the week, slanging toys, getting them out the door.
Yep.
And then hoping nobody gets mad at me about it.
So far, so good. We haven't gotten an email or a DM that says you screwed up something yet.
Well, I'm sure you guys are already light years ahead of Walmart and Hasbro shipping, so you're good.
Oh yeah. No. Got that in the bag.
We making moves. Yeah, that was easy. They were they made it really easy to be better.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Like I love watching people buy something from Amazon and then just be furious, like, oh, thanks for sending in a mailer or this giant box with no packing. And I'm just like, hey man, holler at your boys.
Yep.
Gotcha. We even lick them.
Yeah, I'll even lick
your package.
Yeah, I was about to. I'm literally holding Moss Man. I was about to be like, I do not want to lick Moss Man. He was just there.
Amazon's like the Sam's Club of the internet. They don't know what's a collectible, what some kid's going to open. It's bound to happen.
All they see is a cha-ching, a product in the box. They may, and if you're lucky, put a bubble wrap in there, just one,
maybe.
You don't get the whole roll. You get one, and then little bit of paper.
You don't get 4 of your 6 sides covered. Maybe 2, maybe 3.
You're lucky to get 1.
I wish we could do it that way sometimes, because there's some nights where I'm just like, they won't mind, right? No, can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it.
I mean, even the ones that say, hey, just put it in a bag, put a label on it, and send it. Like, nah, bro. That's not how
I know this jerk. Don't put any bubble wrap in that.
we might have a few of those customers now.
There's a couple. Ted, gentlemen, if you don't mind, this chat has exploded before the show even started. If you don't mind, I indulge them for just a minute before we hit our favorite segment.
Dude, the chat is my favorite part of the show, so break into it.
Always.
Cutthroat Comics, Chris, how you doing, man? What's new at Hella Dope Toys, man? Join the newsletter and you will know. Because I sent one like 2 days ago.
Yeah, reading is fundamental.
There's a couple goodies in there. Go check it out. The man Realm of Toys 89 on Instagram, aka the best toy photographer that we have at Hello Dope Toys. How are you doing, man? I hope your Sunday is great. Keep up those photos, man. You're killing it out there.
Getting better every day.
Haynes Toy Samples suffering that fever of a hundo. Get better, man. Lots of fluids. Bland diet, crackers, bread.
Drink a hot teddy. It's green tea, some really expensive honey, some lemon juice, and some Fireball, man. Clear you right up.
Or just drink the Fireball and you'll be fine.
Just drink the Fireball.
Yeah,
mine's like 90% Fireball. So.
Oh yeah, so even better.
It's easy.
Embargo, how you doing? Welcome. Great to see you.
So
got to see you, Embargo, at PowerCon along with the missus. So it was a pleasure to meet them both.
Yep.
Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. Wilhelm, how you doing? If you're not watching his 118th show on Sundays, check that out. I've been learning a lot of things about 118th. So.
Hey, shout out to Wilhelm too. I didn't know he was also on a journey to 500 subs, and he is really, really close. Like just a few away. I want to say maybe 16. So go show Wilhelm some love, man.
Tap that subscribe button, man. This man works hard.
It's free.
Yeah. Free to click.
And he's very generous with his potato chips. So by all means, give the man a sub.
That's right. Our local native, the Nutty Buckeye. How you doing? Welcome. Jeff. Good evening. Good evening.
Jeff.
Shark Eyes. Yo.
What's up, Adam?
We're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Of course, the one and only the Briscoes in the house. How you doing, man?
Sweet.
Mr. Samuel Edwards. What's happening? How's it going?
Edwards in here, man.
What's up, Samuel?
Crap, I lost that thing. Drew G up in the house. Drew, how you doing? Good to see you.
Who? What?
What? Chronically Online. Hey, the Chad. Hello Dope fam. How's it going?
Is that English?
I'm sorry, Hello Grope fam.
It's the Hella Gropers. Yeah, that was another really good stream, man.
That was actually fun. You need to do that again. I want to hop in. I'll hop in on that one.
Yeah, I was just laughing my ass off that whole time. You guys absolutely killed it.
JK or JMK Customs. Chad's always got dudes full in his DMs, man. You know.
Yeah. That's Mikey Kukovic. He does a lot of. He's the one who actually really helped me cut my teeth with customizing toys, especially figures, because he's one of the masters. So like him and Matt LaCroix are always like one-upping each other, and he did a lot of work on a lot of lines. So yeah, Mikey's a super talented guy, and he's awesome.
So there's no denying that there are dudes, like random dudes in your DMs.
Yeah, it's a sausage party. I'm just deflecting. Dudes,
I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page. We weren't, trying to say, "Nah, man, got tons of chicks there."
Just dudes, like
just dudes.
Yeah, that's okay, right? Ladies, no. Dudes, okay,
all day. Yes.
Yeah,
right there with you, man.
I'm not wearing mine.
Shame on you. What else we got? Last but not least, we got Greg up in the house. Did I find any toy properties that surprised or impressed? No. What surprised me, actually, it wasn't even a surprise. Like the fact that, big wrestling fan, Bray Wyatt passed away. May he rest in peace.
Yep.
I get when like someone passes away that is of celebrity status. Instantly, their products go to like skyrocket pricing. I'm going through this show. There's probably like 7 or 8 like rows worth of vendors, and there's probably about 300, 400 vendors in the whole building. I felt like every table had a WWE Bray Wyatt figure, and they were all just like jacked up in price. I'm like, what? I just saw half the stuff peg warming on Walmart like racks 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden now they're 50, 60, 70, 120 bucks. Like, no.
It's not a good look.
Let the man like die. Like put him in the ground. Let's get to that process. Jeez. Now I can't make no money off my Bray Wyatt figure.
You guys ruined the market.
Yeah.
All right. I think that we're caught up for now.
Okay. For now.
I love how she changed her YouTube handle now. Big Spectre Yancy, aka Mrs. Blacknight.
I like that. That's cute.
Yes.
My wife won't get on the stream. She says, I don't like hearing you in the basement and then also hearing you on the TV. It's not enjoyable to watch. And I just took that as, this is cute, but your show sucks.
Yeah, this is my time away from you now.
Yeah, it's fine. She's in
my
bed.
me time. Go away, Ted.
She's got some peace for me for now.
Wow, I guess man, a lot of Chad. You're bringing the fan with you, man. A lot of names I haven't seen before. Media Clash. Welcome.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah,
of course, Junkion. We know Junkion.
Yeah. And if this is your first time here, guys, thank you for joining in. We really appreciate you guys giving our little show a chance here. And we're gonna try to spotlight Chad as much as we can.
Try.
Star of the show. That's why they're here. That's what put us in seats.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but
yes, I'm sorry. I can't forget about. I'm sorry. Terry Funk. Terry Funk also passed away this week. So a lot of death. Bob Barker. It's horrible.
So Aaron, my watch is going off, and we missed an important date, and that means I'm supposed to ask you 5 minutes ago. What you sipping on?
Well, you know me. I'm always sipping on one of two things. And today we're going to go with Old Trusty, the Spiked Strawberry, still reserve. Quite classic, 8%. Only $2 in your local gas station.
That's good beer math.
It is. I can't beat
$1 per ounce.
But I can't not have a drink without asking anyone else these questions. But Mr. DarkClaw, what it is that you are sipping on today?
Well, over here in my trusty Hella Dope mug, I am sipping some cold, refreshing water.
We got Chad's face is great. Like that, this motherfucker is goddamn. Put this mug.
Yep, you hear it. You hear it, right? Psychically giving that off like.
all you see is this son of a bitch.
But
this bitch.
Not only do I have my water in my Hella Dope mug, but once again I'm bringing back the refreshing Saratoga, a drink so good that you can hear it. Maybe I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's really fucking loud though. It's the loudest drink I've ever had. It's not snap crackle and pop loud, man. No, it sounds like I shouldn't be drinking it, but I do anyway. Also, it's not good. So, but here I am.
All right.
Here I am drinking it anyway. So,
well, I mean, we have to ask our esteemed guests because it's just not right to know. But Chad,
hello.
What you sipping on down
Well,
there?
let's see. Out of my not fucking Hella Dope mug, but out of my GI Joe mug, which
That's much more classy.
Love, and this makes an appearance in every one of my streams. I'm drinking the same thing that I always drink. The only thing I ever drink on streams, and it's black tea with lemon.
All right, keeps the throat nice and lubricated.
I'm a recovered alcoholic, so
fair. Is there? Okay. Well, I was going to ask if there was a story behind it, but now I'm going to guess that's the story behind it.
I just answered it.
That's the story.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the story. Well,
I can't do moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
It's actually it's partial. I'm not a recovering alcoholic, but I am drinking the Saratoga because lately on these streams I've been having a little too much fun, and when I rewatch the streams, it is quite obvious. So I'm trying to be a little more responsible on here and drink really nasty fizzy water.
No, he's not.
No, Aaron can hold his shit. I can't. I drink like 10 beers on stream, and then I'm like, tell me that's the thing. And then I rewatch it, and it's just cringe. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna be sober cringy instead. But I'm not as fun, let me tell you.
Well, I'll get my decal guy right on that. We'll make a not Hella Dope mug and put it on a regular mug because it's not Hella Dope.
On one of those Hobby Lobby blank mugs, just slap it on there. Done.
Before Travis got his mug, he had like a a mug, a hella dope mug from like Wish. He just grabbed a mug and got like a marker and wrote on it, and he was just flashing that around on stream.
Oh, no, I thought it was no. He put our sticker on it.
No, he fucking. I mean, he might have upgraded it, but the first time he just pulled out a mug and just wrote shit on it, and I was just like, "This is disgraceful to the mug, sir. You can't do that anymore."
Oh, now he has his own mug. So
now he has his own mug.
Got to do what you got to do.
I mean, B&B Toys wants to know: are we doing any action figure news today?
So there's a lot of news guys out there. We're not news guys. We talk about some stuff every now and then, but we leave the news to the professionals.
Yes.
Because unless we have it in house or we're about to sell it,
that's our news.
That's our news. Like, hey, this just dropped. But no, there's much more qualified people to handle the news. We're idiots. We're not going to do that.
Smart too, because you guys are a business, right, that sells toys, and if you start getting into the news, you're going to get inundated with where is it? What's the street date? Where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Shut up.
We get that already.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
That's a lot of that. All right, you good with the chat, Aaron, or do you need to dabble in there a little bit more? Okay. So before we get into questions, and I talked to you about it in the green room. I already left a comment on your stream, but your show with Kato last Wednesday was absolutely phenomenal. Oh, yeah. And I have two perspectives on it. One, as a guy who just enjoys watching toy live streams. You and Kato are both absolute pros, man. Had a real chill conversation, went back and forth on everything. There was never a dull moment. So if you guys have not watched that stream from last Wednesday, I strongly recommend you do it. And then on the flip side of that, as a guy who also has to do this every Sunday, who's trying to get better at doing this every Sunday, it was a real good example of how it's done, man. Because again, no lagging, no lull points, none of you just sitting there staring at each other, just back and forth, boom, 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 boom. You guys got into some really good stuff there. So I appreciate that show very much.
All right. Love it.
I really appreciate hearing that. I'll be honest, I'm a full transparency kind of guy. I was getting a little burned out on the live streams where this is the topic and go find 60 images and then make them all PNGs and build this freaking slideshow that takes you like 6 hours and then all these notes. And I was just like, man, like, I'm retiring from my career. I don't want this to be work. Like, I want it to be fun. And I just want to do something spontaneous and just chat with a guy that I know loves toys. And it was fun. So I really appreciate it very much. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And again, people go watch that show. So you were talking about retiring.
Yep.
So I guess my first question is, for anybody who doesn't know, how long you been in the military? What's your role? And what's this about you retiring, sir?
I have been in the U.S. Army for 21 years. I am infantry, so 11 Bravo. And our job description is close with, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America under the crucibles of close quarters combat. So we're what's called combat arms. I am a master gunner, and that's its own thing. That it's like rocket science, but I'm not going to get into that because it's just boring and math. Lots of heavy weapons involved, though. And when I first joined the Army, I was a medic. And then I was a medic who was always attached to the infantry. And I was like, well, these guys are having more fun. I want to go do that, sleep outside, blow shit up. So, so I did that. And, now I'm just retiring. I've been working on my retirement since May. So it takes a long time to get out. It's harder to get out than it is to get in, which that'll tell you something. So
now I'm ignorant. So I always thought there were like, contracts, like you sign up for 4 years, you serve your 4 years, and then they see if you want to extend. Is that kind of what you're on?
So kind of yes and kind of no. So once you reach a certain length in service, when you get to 18 years, you get to what's called sanctuary. And so the goal is to get you past sanctuary to retirement. So once you're in sanctuary, like, I don't want to see somebody try this, but you could almost set a building on fire and be like, I'm in sanctuary, can't touch me. Ha ha ha. It's not necessarily true, right? But generally what happens is that everyone who's enlisted, because there's enlisted and then there's officers, totally different. Officers have what's called an MRD, right? Which is a mandatory retirement date. They can stay in as long as they want, no later than this date. This is like their no shit, like that's your shelf life date. Whereas enlisted, you can do every contract is 8 years. So you can do what's called like a 3x5. So you're in for 3 years and then you're inactive ready reserve for 5, but that's still 8 years. Or you do a 5x3 or a 4x4 or whatever makes it 8 years. And then you just keep trucking along either until you just what's called ETS, where you just leave the service. They give you your DD-214 and there you go. And you're out. You're a veteran, but you're generally what's called prior service at that point. Pleasure to serve. Thank you very much. I try to not say, yeah, you're welcome. But
yeah, you know what I did for you.
So that's just kind of how it goes. And if you're gonna stay, if you're gonna be a lifer like me, like this is the only adult thing I've ever done, I've ever known. Well, aside from playing music, right, which I know you had mentioned that. But yeah, that's it. You just keep trucking along, either until like they're tired of your shit, or you're tired of their shit, or they break you, or you magically make it to 20 years, and then you're like, okay, now I'm done. So yeah, I got to 21 years. It's gonna be 22 here in November, but I got to 21 years, and I was like, I'm done. So it's gonna be a trophy husband.
I'm curious because you're obviously an extreme G.I. Joe collector. In your youth, is that what inspired you to join the military?
100%.
Yep. Was it what you thought it would be?
Yes, because right. There's caveats to that. So, you know, I grew up in the early 80s where G.I. Joe was huge and Ronald Reagan was saving us from the commies and, you know, America, America, America. And it was just the greatest. But I was also, I don't want to say a control freak, but I was very big on things being dress right, dress, like in their spot. Everything has a place. When I was younger, like the way I would arrange my closet and my cassette tapes, I would have to rewind them all. Some people would call it obsessive, compulsive, or whatever. But everything was alphabetical and in its place. And so I knew that being in a structured environment like the military would be good for me. Then I went to a military school. And so I learned all of that stuff. The customs, the courtesies, marching, facing movements, all this stuff. I knew it all before I joined the Army. So I got out of high school. I went and I got my EMT basic. Then I joined the Army as a medic. And that's it. That's all I did. Oop, done.
Man. And that's just been the career.
That's it.
That's wild.
Except for a 10-year break. I had a 10-year break, and all I did was play music. So,
yeah, I want to touch on the music stuff here in a little bit because also that was a surprising fact. I learned that from Largo's Lair, I believe. And then you weren't doing a tour, but you were doing like a show or something. There were some video clips of that. But yeah, I want to follow up on that here in a little bit. Aaron, the chat already looks like it's exploding. Do we need a chat break or should we hold them off?
Go ahead. We'll wait just a moment. They're kind of mingling amongst themselves and keying some things in.
All right. So
talk amongst yourselves.
Your wife, the ma'am, also military member. I'm curious who outranks who.
You already know.
Well, I mean, her joking title, name, whatever, nickname is the commander for a reason, right? Because she's an officer and I'm senior enlisted. And technically, no matter what, she would outrank me because she's an officer, right? So, like customs and courtesies, we always see officers and salute them and give them the greeting of the day, you know, which is, you know, all the way or shake babies or whatever, you know, whatever we say. So she does outrank me, but, you know, she's not in my food chain. She's not my raider. But you know what? I love my wife, obviously, right? I love the ma'am to death. And I always look for reasons where I can go find the ma'am and give her a nice crisp salute and uniform, which is very rare. Even though, so we're in the same, what's called an IBCT, an Infantry Brigade Combat Team, IBCT. We're in the same battalion, but we're not in the same chain of command because there's partiality there because we're married. But yeah, she outranks me.
Is the military how you two met?
Yep.
It's awesome.
Is she still serving now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. My wife's one. She's one of only 26 female infantry officers in the entire Army.
Wow.
Because they only open combat arms, which is scouts, you know, like cavalry, which is what Jeremy is, armor. So like your tankers and stuff, tank, and infantry. That's the 3 combat arms. They only opened combat arms to females in like 2016, 2017. And that's when she joined because all she wanted to be was an infantry officer.
It's very cool.
So she joined, and because, you know, ooh, females in the infantry and they attract bears, you know, and all that stuff. So she went through a lot of shit. She doesn't talk about it, but she got hazed, she got death threats, she got all that stuff. That's why she doesn't have social media, because a lot of dudes in the infantry don't like females in their clubhouse. And you know, she went to she had to go to a different basic training. She couldn't go to basic training at Fort Benning, where all the combat arms guys goes, because it was so new with females there. They didn't have any place to put them. So she went to Fort Jackson to basic training. Then she went to Fort Benning. She did her officer candidate school, which is OCS. Then she did her IBOLIC, which is Infantry Branch Officer Leader course. Then she did Ranger school. Then she did air assault. Then she came to the battalion, and then then I met her. So,
oh yeah,
pretty rad.
So basically, it's just an officer and a gentleman.
Yeah, officer and a salty old burned out NCO. Yeah, sure.
Good stuff. Let's go ahead and tackle this chat just real quick, because
yeah, they're getting feisty in there.
Yes. Where are we at?
Where are we?
I don't know. Oh, here we go. Greg's asking, so we commented on the 3POA making lots of Valiverse quantity orders. Was there a single item that stuck out the most in numbers?
For like how much we're gonna order?
I don't know if this refers to what we're ordering or what we have ordered that stuck out the most. I'm gonna go with the latter of the two.
I don't know. After watching last night's stream, it was actually painful with how much is coming out so close together. Because I think you and I both agree, and we haven't had a second to talk about it, but we need a lot of that. We need a lot of that. There's some really, really good Valiverse stuff coming out. Some of quite possibly the hottest shit I've seen that man make. And yeah, it's really exciting for Valiverse fans, toy collecting fans in general. We are going to grab up as much as that as we can, I think. But how much? I don't know. Those case counts are a lot as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually do pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. It's so close together, and we're just
3.1, the Series 4 Vanguard, Legend of the White Dragon. It is like hit. Like September is loaded with Valiverse.
Yeah,
like, Bobby said it best. It's like it's September. However way he said it, it's Valatember.
Yeah. And on top of that, ever since the whole Nerf gun incident, he's charging us double. So
yeah, well, don't
fucking suits you right.
You know what? I was gonna go, bring the boys down, but I'll save that for next time, because Ryan out there trying to put out them that he ain't take my money. So I was gonna bring the guns down. Like, look, I'm loaded up, baby. I'll see you next year.
Hey, I need to pop this up real quick, as long as the chat doesn't move.
Articulated Ninja. Respond to that, yeah.
What's up, man? Great to see you. Thank you for blowing up the site the other night. Appreciate all the love that you've given us, man, and really cool to see you here.
Yeah.
By the way, that's awesome, man. Ninja in the house.
We're special now. We've had both Articulated Ninja and the Find My Fake Girls. Like, what's happening to us now?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe my wife's wrong. Maybe the show doesn't suck.
I love Ninja. He's an awesome dude. He's very, very genuine, like, super chill, rad guy. So thanks, Ninja. You're the best. I love you, dude. And yeah.
I asked Ninja to take his mask off. This man had on another mask. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what you look like, bro? And he has another mask on. Like, what are you, Rey Mysterio?
Gotta be quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody else was wearing one of my jerseys, one of my older Articulated jerseys at Joe Fest, and he and the girls were driving in the car, and the girls yelled out of the window, "Chad, Chad, Chad!" And it wasn't me. Person's like,
hilarious. Maybe their name was Chad too.
Maybe.
No, because it was Zazel.
Oh. I was gonna say they got one hell of a story after that.
Like, yeah, some girls are like yelling at me, calling me Chad.
Well, when I saw them at the Valiverse booth, they were like, "Yeah, we saw you in your Articulated Chad jersey, and we were yelling at you, and it wasn't you." I was like, "No, that wasn't me."
That's awesome. Rolando Flores, hello.
What's up, buddy?
Robert's Infinite Realms. I just realized Chad has a mug I lost a long time ago. I mean, not the actual mug, but same style.
Why? What have you heard?
This is probably going to be the comment of the night, and only because if you haven't watched the video that got posted 2 or 3 days ago, you're not going to get it. So go watch the video, and you'll understand this reference. Skeleton spills all the tea. Who gonna clean it up?
Mothman Sorceress.
I did watch that again earlier. I'm excited to know how the rest of these episodes are gonna go.
I don't know. Radnom volunteered to do some voice acting. I might have him be Stinkor. I don't know. We'll see. I have it loaded up. We can play it at the end if you want. Don't have to, but it's there.
It's only 2 minutes. Be fine.
It's there.
My brother Adam, also in the army. Don't forget to lightly caress that like button, but I need you to smack that subscribe button, like smack it like the little dirty whore that it is.
Yeah, we're really close to 500. Smack that dirty whore.
Yeah, bam.
Smack it real good. And then leave a comment. Tell us how hard you smacked it.
Yeah.
So let's have a contest. Who could smack it the hardest?
Yeah, we want to know about it.
Yeah.
RG up in the house. How you doing?
RG. Love RG.
Yeah.
Oh, he also hit 5,000. He was doing the summer of 5,000. He nailed it right at the end, man. That was a good journey.
Nice.
Absolutely. Bear 11 Charlie. Love the infantry. Yes.
And he's an 11 Charlie. Get it? 11 Charlie. They're the mortarmen.
That's big brain thinking right there. Mama said, "Pop you out." Good evening. I love the name.
So this is actually Joshua. He was a porch pickup today. Came by, grabbed some stuff. Big supporter of the store and awesome guy. Local Columbus person. I love the Columbus, Ohio Toy Enthusiast group because they're all just really cool people. And having randos come up to your house is a little weird, but they make it good. And Josh is one of the best of them. So, and he travels a long way to get to me and deal with my bullshit. So, also appreciate that.
I've been dealing with your bullshit for like 20 plus years. So
not easy. Aaron's ready to retire from me now.
Right? Like, one more year, buddy. I got it.
One more year, I retire. Too old for this shit.
Matthew, how's it going? Good to see you. Big Bacon.
Big Bacon.
You have to say it like that now. Big Bacon.
Big Bacon.
Patrick's awesome. He's an awesome dude.
No, his name's not Patrick now. His name is Big Bacon.
Big Bacon.
It's Patrick. Big bacon.
Okay. As long as you add big bacon at the end.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine.
Also, Mr. Axion Figs. I struggle with that. People saying thanks for your service. Sounds arrogant to say you're welcome. I would have like, yeah,
happy to serve.
Much. Yeah, I did this shit.
Yeah,
that's why.
You're welcome.
You know, I've never thought about that either. Like, because that's just a natural thing to say. Like somebody says, "Oh, thank you," and you're like,
yeah. If somebody says it, most of us will say, "Oh, thank you." You know, no, thank you, thanks. Don't pay for my food. Leave me alone. I don't know.
Man, those discounts though, man. I mean, we get season tickets for a hockey club up here, and my rep every time renewal comes around. I mean, I've done this 3 years now. And he goes, "Now, are you part of the military?" Like no. Like, I'm a military brat. Does that count? Like, can I get some of that love? No, nothing.
Military brats deserve the love because they get dragged around. It's a hard life.
Well, I'm the end result of that bratness. You know, being the youngest of them all. This Columbus, Ohio, was the end game. That's where they all laid to rest. And then, hey, here I am. Surprise. 9 years later.
Now I'm stuck with you.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Someone else's problem. But yeah, go ahead. You're good.
All right. So
kind of always keep spamming you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Fucking Michigan people, I swear to God. This is why they get honked at when they come across the border.
Exactly.
So in regards to the ma'am, so is she also a toy collector?
Yeah. A lot of my big ticket items are from the ma'am. So she's involved in all of this with me. She goes toy hunting with me. She found the Night Force hovercraft for me, the one that I'm restoring. So she found the shell. She got the flag. She got one of the 2 terror drones. You know, if there's holes in the collection, like she will go fill them. She's real big on Battle Cat, and she's big on My Little Pony, and Cobra Commander and the Baroness.
Okay.
So
it's awesome. My wife is also big on the My Little Ponies, but only the G1 stuff, whatever nonsense they're putting out now is
the OG ones.
Yeah.
Same with the ma'am. She had to educate me.
Yeah. I also had to learn.
My bad.
And then you guys also dabble in some cosplay. I don't know how.
I don't know if we dabble. I mean, we're members of the Finest, and we have several costumes each. Yep. Yeah, I'm actually working on. Please finish what you're going to say, and then
I was going to say I wasn't so sure how serious you guys were, so I've just seen a couple pictures, but I don't know how regular.
Oh yeah, we've been part of the Finest Costume Club for a while, and Johnny and Newt from Simple Tricks and Nonsense, who were there killing it at PowerCon with their costumes, they're helping me make a G.I. Joe Headhunter Stormtrooper costume. Because I've never seen anyone pull off a Headhunter Stormtrooper, so Johnny and I we're gonna do that. But yeah, I've got we've got a couple. I've got a Vietnam Snake Eyes. I've got a Stinger Driver. I've got a Cobra Officer. The man has a perfect V1 Baroness. She has a Cobra Officer as well. And let me tell you, the female Cobra Officer costumers in that bodysuit, woohoo, I love it. And she does a gender bending hooded Cobra Commander.
That's awesome.
Which, in the comics, it wasn't Hama's Marvel run, but in the comics, the Baroness did take over as a Cobra Commander for a hot minute.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. That happened. Awesome. How long have you guys been doing that?
A couple of years.
Nice. If you would have come to PowerCon, I guess you would have been alone. So if you're alone, are you dressing up, or is this something that you guys do exclusively together?
That's a yes and a no. So I would have done it for PowerCon. I meant to do it for Joe Fest, but when I packed the bag with my costume, so for the officer, you have to wear a collared shirt underneath a combat shirt. So it has that slick front with the Cobra logo on it. Mm-hmm. And, little costumer tricks that we do is it's not the whole button up shirt underneath it. It's basically a bib just for the collar. And so I thought I grabbed the BDU pants and the combat shirt, and I grabbed 2 pairs of BDU pants and no boots. Yeah. But generally the ma'am and I do it together. So, if I'm going to wear Snake Eyes, she's not going to wear Baroness. But if she wears Baroness, I'm going to wear my Cobra Officer, because then we move together, and it works because we're a duo, but it's also like, oh, there's the Baroness, and the Baroness is security, so people don't touch my wife's armored boobs, and things like that.
Understand.
It's more fun to do it with it's more fun to do it with my wife.
Mine doesn't dress up. I don't either, I guess, but whatever.
Our kiddo does too. She does a real good Coraline. When she was 4, I put her in this little boy's like purple suit that I found at like Savers or one of the thrift stores, and I did her up like the Joker, and she was creepy as shit. Wow. The suit, the squirting flower.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have this little toddler girl dressed up like the Joker. Yeah, it was good.
Which version of the Joker are we talking here? For context purposes.
I would say it was probably more Heath Ledger.
Okay.
Just because mainly the hair, you got a little girl with hair like this, and you put the green in it, and it pretty much just looked like his, where it was more ratty.
Got it.
Well, I guess it's a good thing she wasn't a fan
of Jack Nicholson Joker. That Joker sucks.
What? That's the best Joker.
Look, how long have you guys known me? I have apparently controversial opinions on a lot of stuff. 112 G.I. Joe is bullshit. Jack Nicholson's Joker sucked. Michael Keaton Batman was a joke. Like, I could just keep going on and on and on.
So I'm gonna go ahead and mute this guy.
Have you not heard my rant? Have you not heard my rant about Batman 89?
No,
no, I have not.
Oh, no,
I will go watch that.
Yeah, I need to go watch that. But no, you're just here stabbing me in the heart, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave a thumbs down and a lot of hate messages in the comments.
Blow it up.
I respect other people's opinions because they're yours, and I don't give a shit. I don't need you to validate mine, and I don't do things that are popular for likes or views or subscribes. So. I mean, you get what you get, and I'm just going to be real about it.
So, spoil it for me then. Who is your definitive Batman?
Kevin Conroy, actually.
Probably that
Mask of the Phantasm is the best Batman movie there is.
I'm gonna give you that one. Okay. I also would have taken Adam West.
And then Affleck. Is that warehouse fight scene? No other Batman live action anything touches that 5-minute fight. Period. He would rip all the other dudes in half like a phone book.
Outside of, I guess, Keaton, then who is your second worst Batman? Is Michael Keaton your
George Clooney?
Okay, I want to reword that question.
That's the real worst Batman.
Now, is it because of the bat nipples?
Oh, did you guys see The Flash? Please tell me you saw The Flash. Fucking George Clooney. I was like, I'm gonna punch somebody right in the mouth. But
it was a nice, silly ending. I got a kick out of it, and then I was glad it was over. I was like, oh boy, ready for that.
Says Hamill's the best Joker.
You're gonna melt just like a grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah, he's so good as the Joker.
So he is so good as the Joker, but my problem with Mark Hamill is like he just takes that voice and then he just does it with everything, like Hobgoblin and what was the name of?
He was the trickster.
Yeah, he was the trickster, and then there was
he was something in Gargoyles.
Hawkknocker and Jay and Silent Bob. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And even his Skeletor.
Yes, his Skeletor
has
was
a lot
very
of
Joker-esque.
Yeah, and I didn't particularly care for that take.
The whole relationship between Skeletor and Evelyn, and he kept calling her Linny, and you just think back to Joker talking to Harley, the way he always kind of like, it's like a condescending, but it's like a baby talk at the same time. And I'm like, man, that's the same beats you did as the Joker.
Yeah, nothing but respect for Mark Hamill, but man, like I was really excited when he was going to be Skeletor, but I was just like, well, I'm not looking for the Joker.
Matt is correcting here. Mark Hamill did it with Trickster first,
yes,
then Joker.
So
but you can always go watch the Diver movie,
yeah, right,
or you could play. Wow, the game just escaped me. Wing Commander.
Oh, okay.
I've never played Wing Commander.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
It's okay. We
okay.
Yeah. Just go back under your little hole and we'll just leave you there.
I don't know what the fuck Wing Commander is.
Greg says Conroy even got to play Bruce / Batman in live action. He was in the Crisis of Infinite Earths. I really enjoyed that crossover. Actually, I really enjoyed most of the crossovers on the live shows. I was not so much of a fan of like the Supergirl parts of them, only because I really never watched the show, so I really never got what was happening. But the Arrow, the Flash crossovers were just fantastic. I loved them all. Even the League of Legends was good.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, we'll get back to it.
That's my fault.
You're good. I absolutely love it. That's what we need more of, man.
A lot of people think, oh, well, like Chad only like talks G.I. Joe or knows anything about G.I. Joe. And I'm not an expert on G.I. Joe, right? I'm all about enthusiasm over expertise. Because when you talk about experts, most experts, they're like, they're closed off and they're rigid and they don't want to hear other opinions and they're kind of dicks, right? I mean, let's just say they're kind of experts, actually, are kind of dicks, right? I'm all about enthusiasm over expertise, but I don't just know Joe. I know a lot of stuff. Anyway, moving on.
Chad's more than a one-trick pony, people.
Yeah.
He has feelings, thoughts, and needs, damn it.
Yes. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, according to Chad. Toys, spouse, food, pets.
Yeah, sounds about right. Somewhere beers in there, like somewhere between like spouse and toys. I'm not sure exactly in what order. She went to bed. I don't think she's watching.
Mine's opposite. She's watching, but that's it. All right. So since we're talking about the Joes, what percentage of your collection is G.I. Joe related?
Let me rephrase that question. How much of your collection is military based?
I thought he was about to turn on some music. Right.
No, I was going to be an ass and pull up my calculator and like, give me like,
how
much is divided by? Well, I mean,
I would also throw in not just figures but vehicles also.
All of it? I don't. I got Mask, I got Transformers, I got Joe, I have a lot of the Joe parallel stuff. I have a lot of Palatoy, right? Action Force. And then I have your off brands, your Click and Play, your True Hero Sentinel 1, crazy shit like Special Force, which was like the knockoff stuff from the 80s that I really love. I even have I got an Adventure People vehicle right next to my Shark 9000 and it fits in perfectly. I don't.
Oh yeah.
Just if it speaks to me, if it fits, it goes. I mean, I have custom Megaforce vehicles that I made, and they're hanging out with my Joes.
So you're not much of a 6-inch guy, and most of your stuff is military based. So I'm curious, is there anything currently coming out? Because especially like if you would have been at PowerCon, Indie Toys Central, is there anything out there right now that's kind of catching your eye, turning your head, making you think?
There's a lot of indie stuff that is Joe parallel that I'm already supporting or have supported financially, and I'm waiting on it to materialize. Good to see you. World Made of Cardboard. So you've got the Call Sign Longbow, the Strike Force Alpha from Matt LaCroix. You've got all the Skeletron stuff that they're doing. You've got Operation Recall, Delta 17. Chris from Grindhouse has been killing it. The Fresh Monkey Fiction guys with all their Eagle Force stuff, which I love. I love those Eagle Force figures. All of that stuff I am 100% behind. I do have a lot of Valiverse stuff. I do have that. My beef with 1/12 scale isn't the scale. It's this. This is my beef with 1/12 scale because it's bullshit. And it's just my opinion, right? If people want to get into it, more power to you, you know. It's everything.
Since you're saying it, so you know, I don't know if you watched 3PO stream on Saturday. Now Bobby is going to a blister card.
Yeah, I saw it. I've seen the cards. Yeah.
Is that something that you're more like you wish it all was, or like, is it something about just that boxing that just completely kills it for you?
No, it's not the packaging. It's trying to pass that shit off as G.I. Joe. And again, just an opinion because there's always somebody who gets butthurt. It's not. When A Real American Hero came out in 1982, they didn't say, let's take freaking Eagle Eye Joe and Bullet Man and make them in Star Wars scale so we can get that Star Wars scale money. No, they did something different. At least when the idiots at Hasbro headquarters in Pawtucket took G.I. Joe away from the people who were running it. 93 was G.I. Joe's second biggest year. The only thing that hurt A Real American Hero was Hasbro. It wasn't A Real American Hero. 1993 was their second biggest year. But they decided they were going to kill A Real American Hero because, we just bought Kenner and those idiots, right? They have nothing to do, so let's give them G.I. Joe. And then they came up with G.I. Joe Extreme. I think there were some good concepts that came out of G.I. Joe Extreme, but at least they did something different. But this G.I. Joe in this scale, like you're trying to be a Real American Hero, but you're trying to call it something else because you don't want it to be a Real American Hero. And when it first came out, you used the Real American Hero characters, but you made them just future forward enough so it was something different. Whereas like it was going to fall in line with like Black Series, where it was the elite of the elite for that IP's collectors, right? When Black Series went from 4-inch to 6-inch, it was like, okay, so it's still Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, but we made him 2 inches bigger and gave him more points of articulation. And we put a bunch more like tampos and, paint apps and all this shit on him. And it's just like for the super elite adult collectors who don't want vehicles or play sets or world building. But now they're backpedaling on all of that because, look, here's a dragonfly. There's a fucking trouble bubble. You know how many trouble bubbles I have? It doesn't impress me. It doesn't impress me at all. Like, the only way you're going to get vehicles is you're going to do something small scale. It's going to be shitty and you're not going to make it enough. And then people are going to bitch, or you're going to HasLab crowdfund it when you didn't need to. And people are going to bitch, and then you started off with one aesthetic and people bitched. And then you went completely in the opposite direction because you're so afraid. You're afraid of your customers, but at the same time, you don't want kids because you price kids out of toys because you only want the adult collectors, but you want to give the adult collectors something different, but then you're afraid of them. And then you backpedal because you had no vision. You just want money. And I understand that companies want money. We all need money to survive. I mean, I've done some terrible fucking shit for my paychecks in my life. I can say that, honestly. I can say that. But it's a joke. The whole thing is a joke. And if you want people to restart their G.I. Joe collections, do what fucking Bobby did. Come up with a story, come up with designs, come up with something new, make it fresh, and be like, this is what it is. If you don't like it, get fucked. And don't do it like G4 did it. like do it like Bobby Valla does it, where you're like, yes, they have real weapons. These are real world-based weapons. That's a Milcor. that shotgun isn't a pump action, but it's a breech loader. Like, what the hell are you coming up with? And you call them blasters because, oh, the people in our attorneys don't want us to say guns and we can't say guns, and get fucked. It's just, it's dumb, dude. Like, I could go off forever on that. And it's not because I'm like 118 or die. It's because you didn't put in the work. You're basically like taking what other people did before you, like your Vinny DeLivias, your Kirk Bazigians, your Ron Rudats, and all those guys that worked for decades. When they started Operation Blastoff in 1979 to bring G.I. Joe back, they had to talk Stephen Hassenfeld into it. Like, he was like, nah, Joe's gone. And I'm sure everybody has seen, no, I'm not going to breathe. I'm good. I don't need to breathe, right? I can breathe as I yell. At least I'm not using my army voice, because nobody wants to hear that. But it's not so much that it's like a point of contention with me. I just look at it and I'm like, it's lazy. It's uninspired. It's stealing other people's like ideas and hard work and designs. And fuck you for that, Oh, look, here's the dragonfly. Yeah, I got 3 sitting right there. So I'm kind of on the sidelines, just over here, like, I'm like, man, I got this cool new adventure people vehicle that can sit next to my flag, and then I look over here to my right, and I'm like, you guys are dumb, and then I just go back to what I'm doing. But I will say, the whole classified, which words have weight, right? Words have meaning. I don't say G.I. Joe classified. I just call it classified. That's okay, because it's classified.
So you just find the whole thing just you find the whole thing just disrespectful. Like, that's what I'm getting. I don't
find it disrespectful. I just find it dumb. And all these people who are like, you can't say that about classified, and then they come out like it's a protected class of citizen or something, like a little girl with a skin knee. Like, you can't say Falcon looks like shit, even though Falcon looks like shit.
Because Falcon does look like shit.
How dare you say something negative about a classified figure? They're a protected class of citizen, and I'm like, look, from 82 to 94, there are tons of shit in a Real American Hero, and I will absolutely say shit, garbage, total shit, right? Crap, mega crap. I mean, look at that dinosaur that came with the Dino Hunters set, right?
Yes.
Look at that dinosaur. Yeah. They got that from like some dollar store China company, and they're like, hell yeah, I'll sell this for $20. We all know it, and it's funny, but it has to go both ways. Like, that's cool. You don't like my 1/18 scale collection? I didn't buy it for you, and I don't care, because I don't need to be validated in what I like. But apparently everybody who's on this classified train needs validation. Like, you must validate what I like. And the other thing I love are these motherfuckers on like Instagram, where they're like, well, here's a Legends book, and here's a bunch of like Gridiron and Valiverse shit that I threw on it, and all I'm tagging it, classified series elite, classified is the best. It's like, that's not even a classified figure, man. It's not even a classified figure. Like, oh, hey, did you see that they're coming out with a snow serpent? Big news. Very cool.
Yeah. So
get
those at helladopetoys.com right
now. Yeah, by all means, please do.
Oh no,
Hasbro Pulse will sell out of pre-orders in 5 minutes. How do you sell out pre-orders, gentlemen?
I always wondered that question myself, but then I just kind of sit and watch.
Oh, I need a drink now.
Yeah. So for everyone that's coming into the chat, if you did not know, this is the new Hella Dope chat rant session.
I love this. Welcome. I want Chad to come on every week.
We're gonna make this a segment now.
You had to have at least 50% expected it, right?
Oh yeah. But this is like
videos of me in the car in the driveway, and I'm like,
this is extra special tonight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love you guys.
That tease really got you going.
Yeah. This is what the people came to see, man. 0 to 100.
You know, at Joe Fest, some dude came and grabbed me and walked me from one corner of the convention center all the way to the other corner. Hey, Chad, man, what's up, bro? You got to come see this, man. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, right. Because I'm agreeable. I'm a nice guy. And so I'm walking with him. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? What do you got to show me? You know, and he's like, dude, this is going to totally change your mind on 1/12 scale. You got to see this. I'm like, oh, that bullshit. And I'm like, fine, man. What do you got to show me? And he takes me over and he's like, look at these 6-inch Silverhawk figures. And I'm like, I don't even collect Silverhawks. And I'm like, yes, Monstar looks cool. Right on. Hey, man, your products look great. Later. And I just walked off.
Oh, my God.
The guy wasted 10 minutes of his life doing that.
No, that was probably the best 10 minutes of his life. Like, I got Chad. I walked with him. I showed him the Silverhawks.
I'm going to show him some 1/12 shit.
Yeah.
He was part of Hella Grope, you know?
He's going to make a video about it, and he's going to say how much shit it was.
That's awesome.
You made his day.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I hope that guy's in the chat.
Yeah. I'm reading the whole chat, and it's like,
oh, dude, I've been laughing at this chat the entire time. Like ever since like the height of your rant started, the chat has been all on it.
Do we need to take a breather and give the chat their time to speak? Or
yeah, I want to see it because I've been kind of like looking a little bit. I'd love to see. I'm sure there's some zingers in there.
I don't know because you had me going. I forgot to do my own job.
Yeah, I wasn't even. I was just so intrigued by like Chad just being like. I wasn't even looking over there.
I wasn't really looking at you guys when I was going, but when I would glance over, it was like this.
Oh man. So what they were saying, at least not rant related. Bear goes, your Mega Force customs are outstanding.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Largo is here.
Largo.
Jim is a rad dude.
He is. And if you're not getting on his channel, man, get in there. That man's pumping out content like crazy.
Yeah.
He's another retired vet, too.
Yes, he is. Apparently Galactus is now like my double. Because just over there.
Yeah. You know, he's like on your shoulder, like, tell this guy to shut up about 6-inch.
Like, I'm not even. This is the real size right here. You know? Then you got his little homie over here, and I got Sentinel over there. Like, yeah, I hear you.
I'm on this team.
In 1/18th God scale. Now, I'm not gonna. Like I said, I was at a convention today. I don't even say it's a convention; it's a toy show, and a lot of 1/18th scale, a lot, and I'm catching myself going through, and I'm like, man, this is nice. This is nice. Where am I gonna put all this shit? Like, how does this work into my collection? Because I mean, I'm not biased to 1/12, 1/6. I mean, if I like something, I like it, no matter what it is. I ain't got nowhere to put it.
I will echo that sentiment because the ma'am is a big supporter of my love of toys, and she is wholly in it with me, right? We went into one of the 3 local stores that's worth a shit here in good old Albuquerque, New Mexico, home of Breaking Bad and meth. And we went in there, and she walks over to one of the aisles, and we're kind of looking where all the Joe stuff is. She was like, oh, the spines on all of these boxes say G.I. Joe. Ha! It's not G.I. Joe. But she took every figure from wave 1 and 2 of Classified, and she bought them when I was down the way looking at comic books. And so I looked at them all, and I was like, well, I guess I'm in this scale, but I had the same exact thought that you did. How am I going to integrate that stuff into this collection? I can't. There's no intermingling at all.
Yeah.
They don't mesh, they don't fit aesthetically.
You have to create an entire new section that's like dedicated to like that scale, really.
Right. And I will say in our game room inside that, because the game room's inside the house, the Joe room's in the garage. But the game room in the house, we have a bunch of shelving in the little nook where like the TV and all the game consoles are. And there's a good amount of 1/12 scale up there. And like all her battle cat bullshit and this stuff.
Good.
Yeah. But you can't intermingle it. You got to keep it separate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I totally get what you're saying. Like when you're looking at 118 stuff, you're like, wow, this stuff looks cool. However, comma, where am I supposed to put it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, again, see back to like maybe 2-3 minutes into my rant, like they want people to restart their collections. Get fucked. No.
Well, wait, honestly, and it is just my opinion on that comment is I wouldn't even mind restarting or altering my collection when you bring that price back down. Like you're putting up $30, $32, $35 on some of these now basic figures. Like you got basic figures almost at $28 a pop right now. No.
But it is, granted, I'm really just leveling this at Hasbro, right? We know that Valiverse brought their prices down and Hasbro's been sneaking them up. But if you get in your way back machine and just go back a couple of minutes to when like that Kamakura figure came out, and they kind of snuck that dude under there. He was the first one that was $25, $24.99. And like, as soon as he went up for pre-order, there was not a word muttered. It was just like, boop, he's up for pre-order. And some people were like, he's like $3 more. Not right, nothing.
Yeah. I mean, $24.99 is I would say to me is the sweet spot. That is, it is about as the most acceptable price for what you can get in today's market.
Yeah,
with what they're putting out, and honestly, and that's being real. That's pushing it real far because they've really scaled down what you get in the package now. Like you're lucky to get
they scaled down the package itself, buddy.
Right, you might get a second head sculpt. You might get a gun.
Half of those Hasbro packages, I can't even call them like boxes, or because they're like a box on a card, but it's kind of a card. It's kind of a box. It looks like a fucking puzzle. I don't know what's in it. Maybe it's a toy. Maybe it has 2 left hands. Maybe it only has 1 arm. I don't know.
2 left feet.
Jeez.
But yeah, that's my piece for that. I mean,
I love you guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime, man. Yeah,
dude, I'm having a blast.
Don't not have me again.
No, I absolutely look when we had Bobby and Ryan on a few weeks ago. Bobby just came in super hot. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine, man. You rant away. The chat is loving it. Nobody's in there being like, fuck Chad. So
I mean, that's cool if they did. I would appreciate it if they did. If they're like, you know what, Chad, fuck you and your stupid opinions. I'd be like, that's cool, brother. If that's your opinion, man. Just, I mean, if you want to die on that fucking hill, die on it. That's cool.
You got an open forum here, man. Say whatever.
Question for you from Just Jeff. I guess my question for Chad was the worst time in the Army. You had a 10-year break. What made you question coming back, or did you have the question?
I'm not answering that first part. Okay. I had a 10-year break. What made me question coming back? Did I ever question that? I had like a I don't want to be cliche and say like it felt like I had a hole in me, but there was something missing. Like I know I can do more, like there is something missing, like that calling, that drive, that, I mean, it is a desire for selfless service. It really is at the end of the day. I mean, I always joke and say like, I'm here for the violence and the retirement points, but like, I'm there to like, I always saw that my role in the Army was to train my replacements and train them well. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter like what it was. Like that was my job. I was an instructor for the Sergeant's Major Academy on Fort Bliss for years, where I taught junior enlisted like how to become non-commissioned officers and how to be leaders and all that stuff. And like, you can't really teach people leadership. Like I can teach them tenets of leadership and things like that, like leads, develops, achieves, character, presence, intellect. I can teach them about that stuff, but like to get up in front of soldiers and like lead them and correct them and be vulnerable and be like, yeah, man, I'll fucking own that. I fucked that up. Sure. You know, like it takes a certain measure of like intelligence and maturity and intellect and character and that kind of stuff to be those leaders. And I honestly felt like the Army was sorely lacking in leaders who would take care of their soldiers while accomplishing the mission. Because sometimes the Army loses sight of like soldier care and they just want to see accomplishment of the mission, but they have to come up together. It's like the rising tide that raises all ships. If you don't have a soldier that's like, you know, physically, mentally tough, administratively correct, you know, trained and proficient in their warrior tasks and drills, they're not going to be able to complete the mission. They're going to fucking die. Right. So that's what I was missing. And I loved what I did on my break in service, and I still do it to this day. I just juggle things, right? Time management, baby. But yeah, I missed being in the Army. I missed it.
So I mean, I know Ted want to get back to this conversation at some point, but I feel like this is a good segue into this part of it. You said that you took a little hiatus from the military. You pursued music. Is music like that, like a passion you've had that you've always wanted to like have a band or like go out and perform in front of the public, or is it just kind of like a hobby that just, you know, something to do?
You know, when I was a kid, relatively speaking, like teenager, I was all about like skateboarding and punk rock, and I still am, right? I still skate. I love punk rock. So I was like, yeah, I want to be in a punk rock band. Pardon me. I learned how to play the bass. I was self-taught. And it just so happened, 2000, my roommates and I had a barbecue. A couple of dudes who I like sort of knew, acquaintances. We're all standing around having a beer. Hey, we want to start a band. And, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, well, I play this and I play that. And they're like, well, what about you? And I was like, well, I play bass. They're like, well, we need a drummer. I was like, I bet you I could do that. I bet you I could learn how to play the drums. And so I just started learning how to play the drums, and that was it. That was it. It's just, I just want to play some rock and roll, you know?
Oh yeah. So you self-taught yourself the drums?
Yeah. Okay. I did. That's where the unfortunate inside joke moniker of Mad Dog Chad comes from. Because I would like concentrate as I was playing, you know, because like if you're right-handed, right, this is keeping your, like, this is your fours, this is your quarter measure.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm like trying to keep the beat with this hand, right? You're driving the tempo, but my right leg's doing something different on the kick drum, and my left leg's doing something different on the hi-hat, and who knows what the hell this hand's doing. And then there's other times where everything's gone, you know, like Neil Peart style. And so I would concentrate a lot. You know, so I'm like in the zone concentrating. They're like, why are you always fucking mad dogging everyone? And I'm like, I'm concentrating. Like, it's not easy. So yeah.
Got it. All right. Makes sense.
And then we got hooked up with some people who had some influence and some name recognition, and I generally don't throw them around, but you know, cranked out some albums, toured the world, and had a good time for about a decade.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Oz.
So lived a nice little side life, and then got back into the thing that you really wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah, came back 2010.
Got it.
And here we are.
I'm gonna post this message because he thinks I've been avoiding him, and maybe I have been, just because, you know, I don't read Go Blue. I can't. It makes me throw up when I want to say it, but you know, Lawrence is a good guy, I guess, you know. But check out A Punk with Toys. He goes live like 18 times a week. But he'll be on tomorrow, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then Thursdays. So check him out.
You got a wide window to catch him because he's probably going to go on until like 2 a.m. So
between him and Oz, man, I swear,
plenty of time to get in there. And
show some love. Says Skate Punk and Joe's.
Yep,
you should put that on a shirt. Skate Punk and Joe's, or rock, drums, punkin' Joes. I don't fucking know.
That's why we only have one style shirt.
Yep, sure do.
We're not good at that stuff.
Did you see that Never Go Full Classified that I did?
Yes. 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 I need that actually.
I just gotta, I just gotta poke the bear. It's so much fun.
Actually, where's that? I don't remember who. I didn't. Oh, there it is. Snake Eyes or Shark Eyes. Sure, there's something that you like about Classified. Just one thing, maybe.
Yeah, Chad, you have to say one nice thing about it.
Yeah,
man.
one nice thing. Yep.
I took a 6-inch Cobra Commander and a hooded Cobra Commander head, and I made my wife a really nice diorama under a glass cloche or cloche or whatever the fuck those, the glass bell as a Christmas present. And I I repainted it and I washed it and I dry brushed it. I made it better, right? Because that's the theme with Classified. It's okay, but maybe I can make it better. Stupid. So yeah, I made her this cool little diorama of this Cobra Commander in his hood, holding his battle helmet with his venom pistol, God forbid, standing on like a pile of skulls that I got from a bunch of super cheap Red Skull 6-inch figures, and I painted all the skulls like real skulls, and he's standing on like this mountain of skulls with a Cobra flag planted behind it. It's pretty rad. And she loved it. So that's I don't know. I could have made it out of a fucking Legends figure. But yeah, that's one thing I'll say that's nice about Classified sucks, dude. I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, we get back to the point. It sucks.
Come back
Matt
full circle.
Matt wants to know, did you get the Mondo Battle Cat?
No. I offered to get it for the ma'am. I think it was a little much for her, if that makes sense. Like, she kind of likes the simplistic, like, here's the origins and here's the original Battle Cat. And the original doesn't articulate, and the origins is kind of not great, but
Yeah, I got my first Mondo. It's that you can barely see it, but it's that Magneto back there in between the two.
I see him.
Got it off of Pixel Dan. I love it. I love it a lot. It comes with a lot of shit too. A lot. Like 4 heads, like 5 different hand sets. Some effects, like it's loaded. So I think Mondo won me over.
Yeah, that Battle Cat looked insane though. We saw it at PowerCon, and I was kind of the same way. It was a little too much for me because I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I'm like, but man, that's really intense.
It's impressive, but it's a lot.
Yeah, and then you got to go buy a whole bunch more Mondo shit, and that's a whole other scale. And oof. But it looks amazing.
I try to be measured when it comes to the amount of stuff that comes with a figure, because I don't want to say all toy companies are guilty of this. Hasbro definitely is. We're going to give you a vomitorium of accessories to increase some perceived value with this figure. Like, I don't need 5 knives. I don't need 3 handguns. 5 sets of hands is a little too much. You know what I mean? Like, some of this is exaggerating. Some of it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I got that 9-inch Revenge of Kronos Psykill, where he has the different magnetic faces that come off, and he has the one that's like the cartoon face. And he comes with all these, like, because GoBots, they shoot energy beams from their fists. They don't have pew-pews. And he came with all the energy blasts and different fists, and I'm like, I can't even get the blast to fit on the fist. I'm like, fuck this. I just threw it away. I was like, whatever. I just wanted Psykill to stand next to my Megatron, and that was it.
I'm starting.
Aaron's reading the chat again.
I am.
I am too. I keep eyeing it.
They're wild tonight, man. You brought the heat.
Sam's asking, is there a video of how you made the Megaforce vehicle?
No. So Samuel actually brings up a pretty good point. Now, as I was making it, I was taking photos of it where I thought someday, okay, once I finish the TACCOM, I'm going to do one big video of this is how I made the Mega Destroyer, and this is how I made the Delta Mark III. Actually, it's not a Delta Mark IV because it doesn't fly, thank you. And this is how I made the TACCOM. And so I was taking photos of all the little, because back here on this L-shaped table is where I do all my customizing. But I will say a lot of people have been asking for a while, and it's been ramping up again. Like, people keep telling me, hey, we want to see you do videos on how you make customs. Okay, that's cool. I've really only done one, and that's when I took those Buzz Lightyear fighters, right? And I made that Buzz Lightyear XL-15, and I made a Night Force Joe one, and then I made Cyclonus and one other Decepticon, and you can see him right up there. But the thing is, it's not that it's hard to say, it's that I don't like to say it. I customize toys as my way of getting away from things. So it makes it difficult where I'm in that zone and I'm just dialed in, and like maybe I have something like on this computer right here, or I have something going on the TV or my iPad, and I'm listening to like people's streams, and I'm just in the zone and I'm just doing my thing. It makes it hard to say, well, I need to stop and go get my camera and set up lighting and do this and that. And to me, it takes away from why I do it. So it's hard. I know people want me to do it, and I don't want to say no, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how to do it and not have it take away from why I customize toys. If that's probably the best way I could say it.
Yeah, but what about not necessarily going through like a full tutorial? Maybe just touch on like key things that people should know, where it doesn't really take away the enjoyment of why you're doing it, but you're teaching some tricks that maybe someone didn't think of.
I'm going to get up and walk away, and I don't do this on camera when we're live. Like Ted saw me do it before. I was actually running around the flag.
It's not really a green screen, guys.
No. Let me go grab something, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Hold on.
Awesome.
Cool.
Oh, I was hoping he was gonna show us running around the table again.
Big Bacon. He's from
Bacon.
Ohio. We're from Columbus, so we're not that far from you there, Big Bacon.
Yeah, come do a porch pickup.
Duh. So, I have a couple of these Rolling Thunder missiles. I have a couple of these left over because one of my Rolling Thunders I actually did as a Night Force custom, and I took the missiles out of it. I changed the armament that comes out of the vehicle when you open it. So I got a couple of these sitting around, right? I was at Walmart the other day, and I always go down the toy aisle. Granted, they don't really have shit that I want on the action figure aisle, but you know, when you go down the kids aisle and you see all these little kids connection sets, it's actually Chatmay, right? But when it's sold in Walmart, it's sold under the brand Kid Connection. This is made by Chatmay, and I'm looking at this thing, right? It's got a little working elevator on it. It's got this cool gantry, and I was like, I got a couple of these at home. How about I take this and I repaint it and I do my little thing, right, where I greeble some stuff and some tchotchkes, and I'm going to turn this into a reimagined vertical launch Cobra missile base.
Okay.
Right? And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And so that's just been chilling over on my custom table. This is like my next project. And I was thinking about trying to do some videos where like I just kind of put this down and say, okay, so I'm looking at this, and this is like where my eye is drawn to. And so talk about like what's a hero face, what's a non-facing face, and all that stuff, and blah blah blah. And then, yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot with this and see. It might be great. It might be dog shit. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, for somebody like myself who can't do shit, me watching that would be like, oh hey, maybe I could try doing something very simple and make it kind of cool. Or like there's like Random Diorama, he's in here, he does tons of dials and stuff. But like maybe he sees something like, oh man, I would have never thought about doing this. I don't know, just crazy stuff that you don't have to necessarily put a lot of like time and effort into, but still becomes helpful information to somebody else.
Yeah, totally. And like I said, I did one with the Buzz Lightyear fighter where I took out their weird spring-loaded cockpit and I gutted it and I showed like, hey, this is the hinge where you take this off and the whole thing comes out. And you can put in one 6-inch figure, and I actually showed a 6-inch Duke in there, and I said, or you can take Dragonfly seats and put 2 1/18 scale figures in there. And I did kind of go through that. When I was making my true 1/18 scale Mask Rhino, which is like a massive custom vehicle, I started to, and then one night I was actually in the kitchen. We have a big island in our great room, and I had all the parts laid out, and I was doing like final prep on each piece before I assembled it. And I didn't take a single picture or video or anything. So the whole middle was just gone. And I was like, well, no video for that.
Thank you, Ian.
Bye.
Well, I also think that what you're saying is important, whereas like, so you taking time to customize, that's kind of like your escapism.
Yeah.
And you already give so much to YouTube. And then adding that to YouTube and setting up a rig and then trying to think of what you're going to say while you're trying to do stuff, because I can't create and talk at the same time. I think it's a very right-brained thing, and that's I like being in the right brain zone. So I completely understand why you wouldn't want to do that. And I think the only exception would be if you were just like, yo, this is cool. You say in the military, you're training your replacements.
Yeah.
So if you're coming from a place where you're like, I feel like teaching something, and I think that's perfect. But definitely, don't give up your escapism, because like I said, whether you like it or not, you're a public figure now in one sense or another.
Yeah.
You already have a fan base, you're given time. You gotta have some Chad time,
Yeah, it's in a way I feel like I'm doing a disservice to people who want to see that stuff, because JMK Designs, right, Mikey Kukovic and Matt LaCroix, I became really good friends with those two gentlemen because I wanted to get into customizing stuff, because I wanted to like use my creative brain to make stuff that was mine and mine alone. And they're the ones that taught me tricks, and I would pick their brains and they would help me out. And I mean, they're still the action figure guys. My custom figures are okay, but my vehicles and play sets, I mean, I'm gonna be a Chad for a second, but they're the shit. I mean, that's all there is to it. So, plus they're larger, right? It's easier. That's why when someone's like, "Look, I customized this classified figure to be some other stupid GI Joe figure that I'll probably never fucking see," and then I'm like, "So what, man? That's like a kindergartner finger painting. Like, get out of here." Trying to not be a jerk. Sorry.
No, you're good.
But I customized a few classified figures as well, so
whatever. Northern Nomad, if I had that button, I would play it for you. But Steven, that's the man with his emotional damage. There were some other questions that were in here for you. I want to pull those up real quick.
Yeah, there were a couple.
One from Greg: is there anything military-related, vehicles, weapons, etc., that you wish would get good representation in 1/18 or 1/12?
I would like to see. So I mean, there's been Bradleys and there's been things like that. There's been Hueys, there's been Apaches. I would really like to see a good striker, a good 1/18 scale striker, and because you could do the mortar version, you could do the MGS version, you could do the ITAS version with the Crows 2 system on it. There's a lot of different striker variants that you could do. Maybe an M wrap or a Matt V or so. Oh, but somebody was already doing a Matt V. Yeah. And their name's escaping me, and I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I want to see Hasbro do some of the cool Joe shit that never got made. Like make that Cobra Aspen. Like the chopper that's almost like the heavy lift chopper that's in all the early comics. Why did they never make a Cobra Aspen? There's so many things. You could just flip a page in the comic and go, never saw that.
I feel like that's going to be a job that Ace will do, you know? Like Ace right now is like the guy that's going to bring the things that most people want affordably to life.
Yeah, he's on my shit list, though.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
I was like,
I'm about to say, we about to spill some more tea over here?
I've never heard anybody say that about it.
No, stop it. I made a rhino. I made a switchblade. I made a jackhammer. I make 1/18 scale mask stuff. And when I knew he was coming out with his not, Thunderhawk, I was like, oh God, please be in 1/18 scale. No, it's not in 1/18 scale. And I was like, damn it, man.
Fair enough. So I'll send him like Ace, my man Chad over here. He's that 1/18th. Like, hook him up before he goes on another car rant.
we thought you cared about the community. Damn it, Chad is suffering.
Yes.
Fix it, Ace.
I'm sure I could find a 1/18 scale car and make one, but sometimes I just want to be like, hey, that's rad. It speaks to me. And so I speak with my wallet, take my money, and then I don't have to, spend 6 months trying to figure out how I'm going to greeble this thing together out of 4 different toys.
All right, Ted, so we need to watch more Chad streams and then order all the things that he wants so that he buys it.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
all right, anyway, so back to the show.
Ed told me that you guys might start carrying a certain 1/18 scale line. I mean, I'm gonna leave that to you guys to talk about that whenever you talk about it. But
yes, I'm aware.
As soon as Ted said that, I was like, well, then I'll be buying a bunch of shit from Helladope.
Well, they haven't officially approached us yet. It was just a message saying they were interested. So,
Scale of Vader, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I looked at it. It seems like an option, if the numbers are right. So we don't want to get anybody excited and then be like, haha, just kidding.
Haha,
fuck those guys.
But no, I mean, to touch on that part of it, I mean, we're always, keeping the ear out to the community. Like, we want to, we support more the independent line. But yes, do we carry Mattel? Yes. Do we carry Hasbro? Yes, because we have to. But, the independent lines, and I mean, I don't want to say that NECA's really independent anymore. They've kind of, they're big enough that they're not Hasbro big, but they're not small enough where they're like, oh, look at me, help me, be better.
They're not Chicken Fried Toys. You know what I mean? They're NECA.
They're not on that grind.
Chicken Fried Toys don't fall apart like glass.
Some of those early NECA figures were kind of, a little questionable.
Yeah.
But we always try to, think of what's the next thing that that we can carry that our competitors aren't carrying, or that they are carrying but they're not carrying a particular piece of the line. So, one of the big questions we always get is, will we ever carry the 1/18 Haya toys? It's possible now. There's an avenue that we can now cross. But
that's tricky, right? The 1/18 Haya stuff is tricky because I bought their Joes. And and I had to go find some back channel thing in fucking China, and I was like, I don't even know if these are going to show up. I might just get anthrax in the mail. I don't know what it's going to be. It might be a dead rat, And it was actually the figures. And then I was like, these are okay, but I'm not a hypocrite, or I do my best to not be a hypocrite. And sometimes it's hard, right? That we're all being real. Sometimes in our adult lives, it's hard to not be a hypocrite. But I do my best to not be one, or not to be one. And I got those figures, and I was like, they're okay, but they're a little fragile. They don't pose that great. I'm gonna give them away. And I just mailed them to some dude. I was like, whatever. Can you throw up Greg's comment? An approach you might try if you want to help spread methods.
Oh, yes.
When customizing in the zone, just record the process. So that's kind of what I was talking about, Greg. Like, there's a process to record the process. Like, I got to set up lights. I got to do this. I got to set up the camera. And when I have tried that in the past, like, you'll see this. Like, it sucks. It's hard, but yeah, I'm gonna give it another crack. I will.
So, I mean, maybe not so much the the glitz and glam of like video production, because this is what I told Ted when he posted the Skeletor video. I'm like, look, like, while we're just trying to get our name into the YouTube algorithm, sometimes you just gotta put out some raw footage of just a process. So like maybe you have your camera that you're sitting in front of right now. That's like the U camera. But then like take your phone and like set it up as a side camera that's doing what you're doing.
I got my helmet here. Sorry.
Perfect.
I was actually showing this to someone because we were talking about the 6-inch scale rock and roll, and I was like, yeah, he wears this helmet right here.
Okay.
So I have this handy dandy doodad, right? And it's just a phone thing. So take my phone, right? And there you go. So generally when I record toy stuff, I don't use my YouTube camera. Like, what am I going to use a 1080 camera for? Right. You know what I mean? Like, but this has a badass camera on it anyway.
Right.
So I just use this, and then I just aim it wherever I want it. Yeah, that's kind of how I roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're already doing it. So yeah, there you go. There was another question in here.
Anywho.
Shark Guys wanted to know what is your one custom figure that you're most proud of and why?
Figure? Figure. I made a custom of my wife. And on the stand, right, I kind of tampoed on her call sign on the stand. So it's legit my wife from our last deployment. So I did make a custom of her. Again, going back to Mikey and Matthew, like, they send me cool customs that I love. They're near and dear to my heart because they're from my friends. I did make a custom Baron Ironblood in the 4-inch modern scale out of Marauders and some other parts. And, customs are always like, there's some voodoo involved, because like you greeble this, and this is kind of a Hail Mary, and I really hope this works out and doesn't completely fuck this whole figure up. And I did make a pretty badass custom 4-inch Baron Ironblood, but probably the one of my wife. Yeah,
man, that's a good one to choose
that I've made. But again, I don't make a lot of custom figures. I mostly make vehicles and playsets.
Got it. Greg also asked, 1/18 hit a major redevelopment. I honestly started hating the scale as Hasbro gave up on the details for decades. They took major steps backwards, but now sculpt is better than in the 2K in episode 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's all the Axion. I want to. He said he got to touch your Hawaiian shirt. His life is now complete. Radnom, making content can be very disruptive in the creative process. I had the same problem. I don't, because I don't do nothing.
It's either got to be a thing that I have to find a way to incorporate it and just either just out of sight, out of mind it and stay in my zone, or just it's like embracing the suck, right? That's what we say in the military. Like, you're comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, that's just where you live. So maybe I just need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable that the camera's there. There's got to be ways I can work it out. I think I just kind of had been pushing it aside, like, whatever.
Buddy Buckeye, see you later, man. He's going to reach out to you and want some thoughts on the click and play vehicles. So,
okay, bye.
Prepare for that message. Skelevator was had a couple messages here, but the one don't worry a bit about quality filmmaking. He's been a fan of documentary style. Shoot it loose. But then follows that comment up with, Chad, use your phone and shoot from the hip.
I'm with you. That's what I was saying.
And
yeah, if anybody goes back and watches that video, the Buzz Lightyear XL-15 fighter, I don't remember what the title of the video is, but it's like, it's that and the Sky Striker. And yeah, I mean, that's what I did. There's just a table set up in my old Joe room at my old house before we PCS'd, and I just set the camera up and I just went to work. I also did a custom hiss tank video where I made an Alley Viper hiss with that weird right angle digital camouflage. And I showed, like, this is how I masked it. This is how I painted it. This is how I took all the tape off, and I actually fast forwarded it. So I've done a couple.
what a few.
Everybody's a critic.
I do want to give a quick shout out to Skelevator. Go check out Toy Frenzy. Subscribe to his channel. Skelly and Oz and their community have been very good to us, and we really appreciate their support. So if you're not familiar with them, go check them out, and you can catch them live on Thursdays at a time I don't know, because I never know what day it is nor what time it is.
Yeah, that's so true.
Me either.
Just subscribe, it'll pop up.
Speaking of JM Custom or JMK Customs, he's we want to confirm or deny something real quick. You going full Winnie the Pooh today here, man?
No, Ted saw me. I'm wearing shorts.
Sure.
I enjoyed the show.
Only one other person has seen this. That is not. There's no. You painted that.
I'll never tell.
What were those hands? You probably pulled them up real quick. Always keep a pair of shorts under the table, huh?
Don't ever listen to Mikey. Ever. Straight shirt cocking it. Yeah,
that's right.
No. For some reason, I find it disrespectful to get up and walk away. I don't know why. I just do. I would rather you look at my fucking cool logo for 20 seconds.
I mean, I'm just peeping out your collection back there.
Yeah, no, I got a good look at his room and everything, man. It goes so deep. It's wild. He's got some crazy shit in there. And a really good lighting setup.
Just to
jealous of that lighting.
Answer the question that we answered earlier in the day. Chris would like to know once again if we've changed what we've been drinking since the beginning of the show.
No, I'm still. I mean, I changed the bottle. It's my second one now.
I still am rocking the spike strawberry.
Chris, you were the first one here, man. You were the first one in the stream. You have to scroll back. You have to go back and watch. We need the watch hours anyway, dude.
Yeah. There's the link for Skelevator and his channel. Yeah. So
real cool. Thank you,
check it out.
Appreciate that. Oh boy, that was a long chat session.
Largo asked, "Does Chad have a favorite custom hiss tank?"
Yeah, that's up here.
See it?
1 second.
Right above Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Mr. Wonderful's rad too. Or is that like asking which kid is your favorite?
Well, I only have one.
I mean, my daughter's my favorite. Duh.
Unless you count my dog, then maybe the dog.
My dog was great. Do I have a favorite custom hiss tank? That. Are you guys tracking the whole thing with me and these custom hiss tanks? Do you get why he's asking that?
I don't.
I have 50 of them.
Oh.
Look at them all.
So Largo's
the whole top row, and then the first 3 shelves all the way down on this side are all custom hiss tanks.
Oh wow!
See them all?
Wow.
It's just hiss tanks the whole way. Like you can see them all right here, all lined up, dress right dress. That's nothing but hiss tanks. Please take me off full screen. Hello.
Well, I mean, I gotta see it, man.
Dude, I had the same problem earlier. I was scoping out his room, and he's like, "Get me off the fucking full screen," and I'm like, "I'm drooling."
All of this, that's all hiss tanks, and then all that whole run is nothing but hiss tanks all the way over.
Insane, man.
Rows and rows and rows and rows.
I mean, you can always send me one. You know, it's fine.
I'll make you one. I make people his tanks. Yeah, I've had people ask me like, "Hey, can you make me a '90s neon his tank?" Done. So when they had that retro collection, which they should have never called retro because they weren't O-rings and people expected O-rings, which is a whole other argument that I'll just go off on. At least they had the Hiss tanks, and I bought the shit out of those things. The black Hiss, the blue Hiss 3, I bought tons of them. Tons. I have tons and tons and tons. So I just get a wild hair and I just make another custom. I would probably say my Battle Android Trooper Hiss tank because that was kind of fun. Or the Megatron one that I made because I hand brushed the chrome paint on it, which was
Media Clash agrees that the Megatron Hiss is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's fun.
I was going to pop something up. I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. I don't know. It went nuts when I was yelling. Sorry.
Yeah, they're wild.
My cat is going nuts, dude.
Oh, is this gonna be like Jason again?
I'm surprised my dog is being like civil at the moment because he normally he has a bowl. He has a bowl that he scoots around my floor upstairs, but now he's scoot that bowl around the floor so much that he has destroyed the bowl. So like now it's only half a bowl because he's ripped it up so much.
This fat old man, right? He's so spoiled. You see his claws? Like he's like Freddy Krueger, man. He like his claws are always out. And he's just trying to like show me love, but he's like clawing the shit out of my shins the whole time. He just wants me to like baby him.
So, Chad, you're making me nervous because when we had Jason from Spiro on, his cat made a cameo and was just sitting there. And Jason's like mid-sentence, and this cat just jumps off screen, and Jason jumps up and he goes, he like clawed my balls.
No, he's 15. He's just chill. But yeah, he's like, ow, you little fuck. He just bit me. Dude, I'm going to throttle you in a second. We have black cats, and black cats are like their own little thing. So,
Shark Guys wanted to know what do the guys you served with think about your passion for Joes and your collecting?
They actually think it's pretty cool. There's a lot of pictures of me in my kit, and actually, so like this is my actual like no shit helmet, right? You can see there's my rank. These are called IR flags because these light up through infrared on your night optics. But see that, right? The Arashikage. And so I've always got Joe stuff on my kit. On my body armor, on my plate carrier, I have a big subdued Cobra patch. And because I came from the heavy weapons community, our heritage is sort of along the lines of armor where we name our vehicles, like Fury, right? Because I came from a Delta company, a heavy weapons infantry company is your Delta company in your battalion. And all of our trucks had D names, and my truck's name was always Destro. So it didn't matter, like, if we were, CONUS or Continental US, if we were stateside, my Humvee was Destro when we, deployed to all the places we've been. As soon as I fall in on a truck, I just get out the electrical tape and I start putting Destro like right on the side of the truck. And yeah, they think it just comes with the territory. They know, like, hey, Sergeant First Class Zolo, he's like a G.I. Joe dude. And my office, before I broke my office down to get ready to retire, was all like, framed Joe comics and posters and figures and things like that. I mean, tasteful, but all around my office. Yeah. And then I would fly a G.I. Joe flag sometimes on the back of my truck.
Oh yeah.
It's a cat. Yeah. He's like the size. He's like the size of like a small healer. He's like 35 pounds, but he's old. He's just chilling.
Axion said that his Humvee was named Bertha Boogie.
Brad, our LMTV, because they're like the slow big, like, can't really call it a deuce and a half because the LMTV is not a deuce and a half, but like your big transport truck. We called that Dolores because she was like big and fat and slow. Like, come on, Dolores.
Many jokes between my family and so my dad served, my brother served, my brother-in-law, my former brother-in-law, he serves. So like I get to hear all these fun like stories. So that just kind of gave me a nice chuckle because I've heard similar stories like that.
Yeah. It's it's just fun. It's a fun thing. My the last platoon shirt we made, because a bunch of us are like geeks, dorks, nerds, whatever, and to some degree or another, our shirt was, so our platoon was called Rogue, and we didn't came up with that. We just fell in on it. So since we were a Rogue platoon, on our platoon shirt, we had the New Mexico Zia, if you know what that logo looks like. It's like a ancient Native American kind of version of a sun.
Okay.
Right. So it's like a circle, and then it has 4 points coming out north, south, east, and west. And so we put the Rogue Squadron symbol in the middle of it. And then on the back, we had the Predator skull. And in the Star Wars Erebush, we had writing that said, "But wait, there's more," because we were QRF, and it was always like, "But wait, there's more. Now we got to go do this dumb shit." So
that's actually pretty dope.
Yeah, nothing Joe related, but it was still in that whole nerd lexicon.
Largo says that they called their deuce to have the Mighty Thunder Chicken.
Sounds about right. What else? What else we got? You guys want to yell about something else? You guys want to yell about Lorenzo Di Bonaventura? What's up? What do you want to do?
Well, I was going to ask you because we're getting close to 2 hour mark. I'm not trying to like cut it off at 2 hours. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you in regards to YouTube. You were talking about being burnt out a little bit ago, but you're not a full-time YouTuber, but you're on YouTube what feels like full-time because you do your shows, you do the car rants. You're on with was it Jay Bartlett on Fridays, doing the ranking shows, usually for G.I. Joe related things or other toy stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
And then you just pop into other random live streams like this. So I mean, you're still putting in. You're probably on YouTube more than a full-time YouTuber. So with retirement coming up, is there ideas for more YouTube? Full-timing it, but you mentioned that you didn't want it to be a job, and you mentioned you were a little burnt out on pictures and shit. And so where are you feeling on that?
That's a lot. So I don't know what constitutes a full-time YouTuber versus a part-timer, because I've always put a lot of time and effort into stuff, even if it's just making a thumbnail. Like I always try to like give it 100%. I mean, granted, we all have our own themes and our own styles and colors and visual language, right? Mm-hmm. For our channels and our stuff. And my shit's my shit, and your guys' shit is your shit. But I'm in here every day. You know, every day I'm in here working on something. I mean, I just had 2 reels hit 1 million views.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Like out of nowhere. Like one just like skyrocketed, and then the other one was right behind it. I was like, fuck, I had 1 million views times 2. But I just want to do stuff that interests me, and something that I feel about one way or the other. If it's man, I'm pissed about this, and so like my kid has literally sat here, which she's in her room doing homework with her door open, and something just makes me mad, and she hears me grab the keys, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out to the car and yell about shit. She's like, okay, have fun. Because if it strikes me and I'm passionate about it, I'm either gonna make it a live stream topic and I'm gonna champion it, or I'm gonna go out in the car and I'm gonna fucking destroy it. But that being said, the car rants are supposed to be like, they're sarcastic. They're not really like actual things. Actually, they're not like, wow, this guy's really that worked up about this that he's like delaminating in his automobile. It's supposed to be a little sarcastic, a little cynical.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to talk about stuff that I like. I don't I try to choose my words, right? I try to not throw shade at people, but at the same time, God, this is gonna sound fucked up, but just because you went to Walmart and bought fucking classified shipwreck in a box that looks like a 500-piece puzzle should fall out of it, and you open it, and I'm not a hater because it gets 10,000 views because it's a brand new shiny dolly. It's just like, is that something you're really passionate about, or are you on a bandwagon? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me, so I really don't care. I think it's just more observational, right? So, full disclosure, we're all about that, right? I said I'm a big fan. So I have a graduate's degree in behaviorism. So I like to like watch people. I have this thing about studying people, and I don't mean to really do it as like a way to knock people down, but I observe what they do, and you know, there's always a why, like why. But I have no interest in that stuff. And like you guys were saying, you're not like a news show, a news channel. Me either. Like the only couple of times that I've talked about news anything was when Hasbro just kind of nonchalantly was like, yeah, 118 Joes aren't happening anymore. And then they just moved on to whatever other bullshit they were going to talk about. Oh, but we have these 3 new price points for a classified. It's like, so you just, the scale and the brand that saved your ass 3 times over, you're just going to like say it like it's nothing. Okay. Right. So yeah, that's the only real time I'll talk about news, or when we heard that rumor about a Soundwave Thunder machine. And I was like, hey, like, what do you think? Like, just asking the community, like, do you think this would be cool? And then they never said anything about it. And then like 3 hours after they announced that 118 Joe was dead, they're like, but look, Thunder Machine Soundwave with O-Ring Joes. And I'm like, you're dumb, dude. You're so dumb.
I mean, that's kind of what like we'll report on things that we think is interesting or news about us. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Anyway,
we're what's important. Damn it!
That's right.
Yeah, you guys are quite important.
Thank you.
At least you have many leather-bound books.
Yeah, about 7, 8 of them.
Rich mahogany.
I don't know. Stogie.
I don't think I really want to do anything with YouTube. Jay, like, so Ted, you mentioned Jay Bartlett, you know, really awesome dude, did Nintendo Quest, Action Figure Adventure, season 1, season 2, you know, him and Rob McCallum do all these cool documentaries. Really awesome dude. Another lifelong toy guy. And he and I talk all the time because, you know, we have that show and a good friendship. And he was like, well, what do you want to do with your YouTube? And I'm like, nothing. It's just fun. I'm just nerding out with other nerds. That's it. I'm not trying to hit an algorithm. I'm not trying to find some hashtag that's blowing up right now, and then next week I'm going to jump on some other hashtag bandwagon that's blowing up because I want subs and views and money. I don't need any of that. I just want to talk to cool people. Like Wednesday, so 3 nights from tonight, I have Mark Weber, you know, from What's on Joe Mind, who was the fucking G.I. Joe brand manager at Hasbro. He was also the global brand manager for Transformers. Mark and Bobby Valla were responsible for a lot of that Pursuit of Cobra, 50th anniversary, like these are all modern Joes. None of these are O-rings. None of these are 82 to 94. This is all the stuff that like Valla and Weber and those guys, you know, Vinny Zalivia, and like they had a lot to do with this stuff. And so I want to talk to Mark, just me and him, just talking Joe, and just bullshit. That's it.
Yeah, I'll be at work, but I'll pop in. You know how I do it.
Yeah, that's it, right? So toys should be fun.
Yeah,
I don't believe in the chase. I don't believe in the in the race. Like half the time it's not even a hunt. It's a chase or a race or fucking eBay special or like a Target manager special. Like toy collecting now is fucked. It's just fucked. it's almost like a full-time job trying to complete a wave or a collection or an IP. It shouldn't be like that.
And honestly, that's why that's one of the core reasons why we created this store.
And that's why I love you guys. That's why I love you guys.
Stuff.
Because, like, God, man, it should not be like that. Like, I have a half-colored in coloring book. Did that make sense? Yeah. I have a G.I. Joe coloring book from 1985 that some kid colored half the pages, and I love that. It's one stupid little item in my massive collection of weird, stupid items. And I just love that book because some kid loved this coloring book and was coloring in it. Like, toys should be played with. They should be fun. And toys don't seem fun now. It seems like, man, like,
it's a cash cow. It's
yeah.
How long until this retires?
Yeah, it's like you better get over to this website and get your pre-orders in before the pre-orders sell out. And then half the time, like, when they announce right? Because I'm generally always leveling this shit at Hasbro. You know, the chief offender. When Hasbro went live to announce that the Blue Ninja 2-pack, which, spoiler alert, they're both fucking repaints. that fucking brand team and their repaints. Oh my Lord. When they went live to announce that Blue Ninja 2-pack, what's up, Mo, was live, the pre-orders went live an hour before their stream and they were already sold out. Who does that? And why are you not fired? You know, it's just dumb. And I bought a boxed 1993 G.I. Joe detonator. I bought a boxed 1994 G.I. Joe Blockbuster. Easier, faster, less hassles. I mean, half the time I get figures cheaper. And it's like, I don't see it. And that's not me knocking 1/12 scale classified. That's just like that. That's my issue with current toy selling. And I don't mean like retailers. I mean like the manufacturers, right? That's my problem with the state of the toy industry, is that it's no longer a hunt. The days of like that dopamine rush where you go into a store and you're like, man, I got to get some fucking buttwort cream, but I'm going to run down the action figure aisle at the same time.
Every time.
And you're like, right before there's this figure. Those days are gone. They're gone. And it, like, we all collectively in this community, like, we fucked kids out of toys. And then people turn around and say, well, kids, they don't like toys. They like video games and they like their phone apps. And it's like, well, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You price kids out of toys. Yeah. And then they're not available because the adult collectors who either want to resell them because they're shitty, you know, they buy them all to resell them on eBay. That's an eBay special. Or they just want to get it so they can follow that current hashtag and they can get the views and the likes and the subs and the shit. And I can feel important and woo, you know, look at me, I'm relevant. Get fucked. You know, I talk about off brands from the 80s that when we were all kids, we scoffed at. And I'm like, look at how rad this little hovercraft is. So that's my long answer, Ted. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. Because again, you know, people can listen to me and Aaron fucking talk on our solo shows. Like we said, we were putting the spotlight on you, man, and you were fucking delivering. Like,
I'm sorry, dude.
That's like your second or third rant, man. And every time that chat lights up, dude. And that's what I like to fucking see. That's fucking engagement. They came here to see you. You're fucking preaching. People are loving it. So I'm just sitting quiet. I'm just like, no, man. Yo, you keep fucking going, dude.
I like to have fun. I like to have fun with people. It should be fun. Look, the one figure that I have on my desk, right, which you can't see because it's in front of the camera. The one figure. So I have Chunky Tank Kitty from Joe Fest. I got a couple of little, you know, the little metal Joes. But the one actual Joe that I have on my desk is fucking Skidmark, man. Because like, how ridiculous is a Joe codenamed Skidmark? And look at him. He's so ridiculous. but one of my buddies gave me this figure at Joe Fest to be my co-pilot on my drive home, and I love it. Mm-hmm. And it's hilarious because his name is frickin' Skidmark, and toys should be fun. and that's it. And I was on What's on Joe Mind, and Mike was asking, like, they brought me on to guest, and I'm sorry, Mike, I love you, but he was like, yeah, so what characters do you hope that Classified makes? I was like, I don't give a shit. Just like so deadpan. I was like, I don't give a shit, Mike. And he's like, what? And I'm like, dude, I hate Classified. And he's like, you do? I'm like, yeah, it sucks.
Not asking that question next. Carry on.
Well, so we have.
I just noticed that you guys put "its" in your names.
we forgot the exclamation marks.
I just noticed that.
I took that from your show last week with
Kato. Yeah, Kato did it too. It's Kato. Yeah, I think that's cool, man. It's funny. I had to drop the articulated, and Ninja was kind of upset at me for it, and I actually never looked at it the way that he looked at it, and so like we had a little heart to heart about it in Georgia, and
So, well, what's the story? Because I never got the story on that either. You changed it, and then for a while you were just like, I don't want to fucking talk about it. It's Chad now, and I was like,
I don't want to talk about it, Ted.
Like, I'm not gonna fucking poke the bear. They'll start.
I'll talk about anything, dude. I will talk about anything except for like combat stuff. I won't talk about combat stuff. That's my no-go. I won't talk about combat stuff. I don't get into like personal shit about my wife. Right. That's that invisible line of death.
Hold on, before you answer that question, 13th Prince, we should all be in your car for a part 2 of this show.
Chad, bring the car up here, man. That's
when you come to PowerCon next year, which I hope you are coming, we will have a car rant in somebody's car.
Yeah, let's all get mad about
everybody
something.
said that about Joe Fest. They were like, we're all gonna pile in one person's vehicle and we're just gonna do one mass car rant together. And I'm like, bet. And then it didn't happen.
Oh no, we'll make it happen. I promise you.
We'll be tired and extra fucking cranky. So.
I'm glad people like the car rants. I don't want to say I stole it, right? Because imitation is the best form of flattery, so the saying goes. There's a channel on YouTube. It's a pop culture channel. You know, it's a little polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. It's Geeks and Gamers, right? Mm-hmm. If you know that channel. So Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he would do these car video. And the reason he would do those is because that Pablo Hidalgo asshole from Lucasfilm hated that he would do car videos. And so he just kept doing them to piss off Pablo Hidalgo. And I was like, I'm going to do a car rant. I'm going to steal that idea. So I stole it. And then I got told later on that somebody else does car rants. And I'm like, yeah, but mine are probably better. So, okay. Articulated chat. See, like I do too. Originally, when I was going to start something on YouTube, myself and a buddy, right? I'm not trying to take away from this guy, but we talked about like let's do like a Joe show, and we'll just talk about the shit that we like, you know. And I'll have my perspective, and you'll have your perspective, because he was all about the new hotness, classified shit, Marvel Legends, stuff like that, blah blah blah. Him and his kid would always go to Targets and Walmarts and get 1/12 scale overpriced shitty figures, and I'm like, that's cool, dude. I love it. You can talk your angle, I'll talk my angle. It was kind of like a pre-3 POA approach where you had like 3 guys with 3 different perspectives. Yeah. And it was going to be me and this guy, and we were going to have our different perspectives. My name's Chad. His name's Chris. It was going to be the CNC Joe show, and that was going to be it. Well, I already had a YouTube account, right? Because I watch YouTube like everybody else does. And then like we made this CNC Joe show with an email address, with its own, you know, when you set up YouTube, you got to follow the steps. Yeah. We did it. We built it. intro, logo, the whole 9 yards. Tried to make it like not super overproduced, but just kind of like where I'm at right now, almost like bottom of the barrel, but faking it. Fake it till you make it. I'm just kidding. I love doing editing. I'll do editing all day. And we did one video, and it was a Mother's Day video about how we wanted to celebrate all of us as collectors, our moms who bought us all these toys that gave us this lifelong love of whatever brand. It wasn't even just about G.I. Joe, because my mother always bought me toys. As much as she struggled to raise 2 boys on her own, she would always buy us toys. And I wanted to celebrate moms and do a Mother's Day thing. And we did the one show, and then he was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, way to fucking go, man. Like one thing once, it was like 20 some odd minutes. And I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. But I had already invested so much in it. I wasn't just going to walk away from it. And I don't necessarily think that people want to hear what I have to say, but I appreciate when people do at the same time, because I don't think I like represent the little person who's into, yeah, right. Moms fucking rule. And I actually brought my mom on a stream with Jay so he could meet my mom, because we were talking about how our moms got us into toys. So whatever, one thing led to another, and the name that I had associated with my YouTube was just Articulated Chat. It was just like a generic. I thought it was a fun little play on a couple of things. One, Joes are known for being highly articulated, right? Back when Star Wars was still 5 POA, like these guys had all the points of articulation. So I thought the articulation is what helps set Joe apart. Mm-hmm. I'm a fucking Joe guy. At the same time, Al Gore, George Bush Jr., 2000 in Florida, Dimple Chads, right? So you got the Dimple Chads, the hanging Chads, the election, blah, blah, blah. Articulated Chad is kind of like Dimple Chad or hanging Chad, and I have dimples, and Joe's are articulated, right? It's like so many layers to that. So I kept it. I had never heard of Ninja, ever. And he was an awesome dude, right? We're friends. And I had never heard of him, and I was like, oh, man. I guess I wasn't as witty as I thought I was. B, I'm kind of stepping on somebody else's shit. And so I felt bad. And then I found like highly articulated and fucking articulated points and on and on and on. And I went down this rabbit hole of, oh my God, I'm just another fucking dude with this word in my shit. I'm like, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of it. And so like, it was just like when I came back in the Army. Gasp, you're still going, yeah, man, I'll go all day. I'm sorry, Greg. I'm not going to apologize for being me. You asked, right? You guys asked.
I did.
Hey,
so
I'm enjoying the answer.
I didn't. It was just like when I knew I needed to go back in the Army, where the thought hits me and then it comes back around. And then later it comes back around. It's like, it's a thing that I always, to my junior leaders, I would call it cats in the dryer. So if you take one cat, granted I have cats, if you take a cat and you put it in the dryer on low for 30 seconds, that cat's going to be a little, right? 2 cats in the dryer for 5 minutes on medium, not good. 3 cats in the dryer and an hour on high, what do you get, right? So the more your cats are tumbling around in the dryer, it just keeps coming back around and around and around and around. And I'm like, okay, my subconscious is telling me like, ditch it. And it wasn't for some kind of face saving. No one ever called me out on having articulated. And even Lawrence, Punk with Toys always says like, you will always be articulated, chat to me, always. And I appreciate that. I think that's nice. Like, I take that as a compliment. When Ninja and I were talking at Joe Fest, and I don't like to speak for people or name drop because I'm not that guy, he was like, hey, I was a little bugged when you dropped articulated, because I thought like all of us with that articulated were like a family. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, I never thought of it like that. I saw it as like I was getting in your lane. Like that's how I felt about it. And yeah, so I ditched it. And again, right, because Jay is one of my best friends, and he and I kind of talked about it. And I was like, hey man, like I need to have a real come to Jesus. Like I kind of want to change this. And he was like, take your time and come up with something. And I was like, you know what, man, fucking it's Chad. That's it. That's and I mean, there's a little tagline under my main logo. It says from the Plastic Arsenal, but boop, it's Chad. That's it. I'm a Chad. You know what I mean? Like Chads are super extra. Chad. And I can
Chad.
for as much in person as I'm very. I don't want to say I'm introverted, because I'm like introverts. They have a problem with being in public and things like that. Like I can stand amongst my peers. And Ted, are you an introvert?
I'm an extreme introvert. That's
why
not
I drink
me,
alcohol. Man. Like this is the me that would stand right in front of you. See, there it is, right there. Thanks, buddy. But I can stand amongst my peers and friends and whatever and just be like, yeah, man, like this is me. Like I'm just gonna plant my feet and this is what you get. That's why I can say the unpopular opinions. Jack Nicholson's Joker wasn't the fucking Joker. He was just a gangster, you know, and Michael Keaton's Batman was bullshit and Classified fucking sucks. Because I'm not saying that to hurt people's feelings or to elevate myself. It's just an opinion, and we're all allowed to have them. And I'm not taking away from anybody else's shine. I just didn't want to be articulated anymore. I felt that it was probably the wrong, I don't know, thing. There, I lost my steam. There you go. When I lose my steam, you see it. Yeah, there it is. Highly articulated Ninja Chad. You fucking jerk. He always says that.
Well, I have a few things started in the chat, Aaron. We want to go through the chat, and then one last question. We'll wrap it up.
Cool.
All right.
There's another stupid black cat. Look at this dummy. See him?
No, because
dumb McGillicuddy over here.
I see a tail. Largo wants to know, Megaforce, why don't we revive toy lines and movie remakes? They've mined everything else from our nostalgia.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get this stupid.
Yeah, we know. It's okay. We forgive you. He says, why don't we revive toy lines? And
for everyone in the chat, look, Blacknight is mad at me. Like he's had enough Chad for one night.
I know. I'll take all the Chad. It's all good.
Yeah, you will.
All day.
But see, here's the thing, though, Jim. If you turn that question around on itself, do you want to see somebody make like a new mask toy line? And I've heard the rumors that Super 7 got mask, but but what's it gonna be? Are you just gonna take? See, anytime I reach for a fucking mask figure, I knock like 4 of them down. So G.I. Joe already did Specialist Tracker in the 4-inch, right? So are you going to take Matt Tracker and Brad Turner and Slyrax and all these characters and just make them in the 1/12 scale with a helmet, which is technically a mask, but it's actually a helmet, actually, technically, whatever, with no vehicles? Because mask is a vehicle-driven line. It's all about the transformation gimmick, right? Because it's mask.
Yeah.
Right? Illusion's the ultimate weapon kind of stuff. So I don't want to see someone touch mask. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see someone. If someone were to make Megaforce toys, I would want it to be someone that would like do it with love. And see, look, there he goes. Fucking stupid. There are some toy companies that would do mask right, but Hasbro has mask, and yeah, I heard about the Super 7 thing, and that's got to be a wait and see. But I don't want a 1/12 scale mask like Anthony Romo just popped up. I don't want to see it. Everyone's trying to go to 1/12 scale because that's like the thing right now, but it's not a world building scale. It's just dollies, and mask can't be just dollies. And what's the other option? You're gonna crowdfund vehicles? Because that's bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
I would like to see somebody do masked vehicles. Now, granted, Fresh Monkey Fiction, Eagle Force, they're doing those Mega Force figures that aren't Mega Force. You know how Fresh Monkey Fiction has a way of doing that with their toys, like that. They straight up have Mario, Luigi, Charlie Brown, all these characters that we all know and love. They even have a nod and a wink to a Matt Tracker figure, but they're not those figures at the same time. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, it's like it's their workaround around the workaround.
Yeah. It's an homage.
Yeah, homage. Yeah.
Anyway.
Media Clash. This was back when we were talking about content for YouTube. Saying you're speaking to his soul right now, which can get his content to that place. Consistency is the best answer, man. And even consistency is not even the answer. Throw a dart at the wall and hope that it sticks and hope that it resonates with people. That's how you get it.
Yeah. People have been really liking the military stuff from me. Like just straight military shit. Or I'll take military stuff. Have you guys seen like the 1-to-1 scale G.I. Joe stuff that I've done? Like the MMS missile, which is actually the Hawk missile system, which is why the character was called Hawk, actually, thank you. And then like right, on and on and on. But there's a lot of those military pieces of equipment around here. And I'm like, there's a no shit. You know the G.I. Joe Thunderclap, which is actually right above me on this shelf? Right over here down the street, there is the vehicle that the Thunderclap is based on. It's massive. It's got this huge fucking railgun cannon on a trailer, and I want to go film it. Mm-hmm. Because people would love to see that. Like the Thunderclap is based on this real vehicle, and it's awesome. Yeah. But
I said the best videos, like I said, even the stuff that we've like we got stuff on like TikTok, and we kind of just fly it everywhere. Yeah. Like if I can post it somewhere, I'm posting it. But like the most well thought out videos are the ones that don't normally do well. It's the video that you go, why am I going to post this? Like, should I post this?
I shot this bitch on the fly. I didn't even edit it.
Right. And it's your best video. It's your best video. So yeah.
And I 100% agree with you. Like, especially shorts. Like, yeah, I try to not get crazy over producing shorts. Like, here's the 55-second short, and then there's like the 3 seconds of my logo like smashing down, and that's it. Maybe I'll put some music on it. Maybe I fucking won't. I don't know. How do I feel today? Let's go find out. And I'll do it as a short, and then a couple days later, I'll go back and I'll throw it on TikTok, and then a couple days after that, I'll put it up as an Instagram and Facebook reel. And so I just keep bringing it back around. So it just stays relevant, and it goes through all the channels, and then that's just kind of what I do.
That's exactly how that's how I do it. He don't always do that.
You guys are smart.
Exactly.
Smart
I just slap it on Instagram, and Aaron does whatever with it.
Yep. I have to go download it, take the watermark off, load it up somewhere else, because this guy doesn't send me the actual video.
I get excited and forget. I post something and I go, yay. And then I don't even fucking think about you.
I did a thing today.
I did something.
And that's why I go from shorts to TikTok to Instagram, Facebook Reels, because I don't care if the Instagram and Facebook Reels have watermarks, because it's not going to go to YouTube from there. I go from YouTube back to TikTok and then forward.
Right.
There it is.
Yeah. I have an app that gets rid of it, so I don't really care. It all does the same to me.
I'll get better at sending it to you.
I don't, man. I have like just enough tricks in my little folder to get me by.
It's not even a trick; it's a website. It's like Instagram's like Insta app dot something, and you just copy the URL for the short, and it just takes the watermark off.
Cool.
Really simple. Mr. Wonderful is saying you need to do some stuff for Hexastack. He's crowdfunding. He needs some help.
He needs that 1 million that you hit.
Yeah.
He's trying to get a piece of that.
I don't even know how that happened. I don't think I can recreate.
Well, I guess it's 2 million because you have 1 million on two separate ones, right? So you are. I said earlier, you're a public figure. You're pretty much famous now.
It's not even my face. Either one of them.
Well, you have the voice of the people.
Like 5 views, people are like, "Fuck this guy, this guy out of here."
Skelevator. I'm not sure where in the chat this came up as, but
when we was talking about doing YouTube, whether to do it full time or not.
Yes.
Yeah, I just like toys and what I like to talk about and stuff like that.
Yeah. Got it. And then, of course, our new favorite, Big Bacon.
Big Bacon.
I'm just going.
I'm the other one.
I also can't stand people of all sorts who are fake. You can tell the people who are honest and upfront versus those who are simply trying to play the specific crowd. Yeah, that's kind of how we are. We just throw it out there, man. I don't give a shit.
You know, and again, Ted, yes, we are all public facing, right? I will say that. I will use the term public facing.
Public facing. Fair enough.
I wouldn't say I'm a public figure, but I'm public facing.
Got to put it on your Facebook now. I'm a public figure.
Anyway, I try to be very mindful and measured about what I will say or won't say, because we all know, we've all heard the horror stories about someone in any corner or aspect of pop culture or fandom or whatever, public facing on like a YouTube or whatever, and they just say one thing that they can't take back. And I will do my best to never do that. I can't say I will never because I can't see the future. But man, there are so many fucking toy YouTubers that I hate with a passion. I hate them. Like, I am just not public facing. I don't say it, but if someone like privately brings them up to me and I'm like, fuck them.
You're about to get a whole bunch of DMs, man.
I don't care.
I'm ready to copy and paste the list.
No,
make sure you rank them too.
I'm sure it's the ones that I would say, oh, like the three big culprits are A, B, and C, and people would go, yeah.
I just like saying Big Bacon.
Big Bacon. Come back, Big Bacon.
Big Mike.
Patrick Big Bacon.
You want to talk about a guy who freaking churns out content? Big Bacon's bunker. He churns out content. And I like the way that he does it. He says like, hey, next week's schedule is boom. And it's all the thumbnails of like what he's going to talk about next week. That's cool. That shit's commitment.
Right now.
I would probably get like the first one or two done, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna shitbag and play video games for 3 days straight. You know, I'm just not gonna do it.
Ted's like, I know I usually do this on Thursday. I want to do this Saturday night, and then I'll get it up there eventually.
I can't do the schedule, man. Oh well, like I've had people I trust and love and respect say like, you got to do 2 shorts a day, morning and night.
Yes.
And then on the days when you're like live streaming or you put out a produced video, don't do any shorts. Other than that, like churn that content. You see what we're doing right here? There are plenty of YouTube channels that would take this and break it up into like 10 5-minute videos. Yeah. I bet you can get a shitload of views from some like
Yep. Already got the timestamps already done. It's all good. Don't worry.
Chad went nuts. Here, there, here.
twice over there.
But it's good, right? If you keep the cameras like this, right? If you keep the screen like this, man, you have content for a week just off of one conversation. I mean, it's good for everybody too. A lot of YouTubers are like, oh, that's not cool that you reuse content with this person who was on your stream. It's like, first of all, it's my fucking channel. Second of all, it's not like we did some kind of NDA shit.
Right.
And
I
me showing them more. Yeah, me showing them more just gets them out there more.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for you.
Honestly, we usually just only clip the parts where people say nice things about us. So I think we got about 5 seconds of that from you, and that's just going to be what's on the loop.
We're going to loop it.
And then when that doesn't work well, then the crazy.
My name is Chad. I am a huge fan of Hella Dope Toys because they're hella dope. And I don't have a hella dope mug, so I have to just keep drinking coffee out of this standard issue basic bitch G.I. Joe mug. Hella dope is the way to go. How's that? Is that good? Yeah, I see your mug, dude.
That's the first thing you're gonna see tomorrow morning on Instagram.
Oh my god, I can't.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to this chat that we're trying to. Scalevator says that's what he's saying, right? He just subscribed to your channel, Chad. So
thanks, buddy. I appreciate
subscriber.
It.
Also, I just subscribed to Big Bacon. I'm now subscribed.
Yeah, to and he does stuff with Robert's Infinite Realms every now and again.
Okay,
it's fun to watch those guys just shoot the shit. Big Bacon.
Look at Axel, just doing the things.
He's on it. Ed doesn't get enough credit for all the bullshit he deals with from us.
mainly us. Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
Once again, Big Bacon, high and beloved figures behind an immense fucking paywall is bullshit.
You almost went with the whole voice, and then I'm like, you're gonna be so mad when he watches channel and he doesn't talk like that.
I don't even care. That's how I'm gonna hear it now.
Because now we're in love with this fantasy version of Big Bacon.
we're gonna add this voice into your Adventures of Skeletor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we could do that. But
Adam Yancey says, speaking of content, how many hours are you guys at? I don't know if that's just like group question. You have to be close to 5,000.
No, we're not close to 5,000 yet.
No, 2-minute Skeletor videos do not get that job done. That's what I learned.
YouTube has not updated the algorithm. As of right now, we are 136 hours away and 37 subscribers from hitting that magical mark that we set out.
From what, the 5,500?
503,000.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't talk.
That's okay.
Because of
it'll happen when it happens, honestly.
Yeah. So there's this thing that there's this term called Spotlight Ranger, right? And the Spotlight Rangers are the ones who are like, oh yeah, well I did this, right? Because I put the spotlight on me. Right, the guys who drag out their fucking soapboxes. Adam Yancey said 33 subs now, sucker.
No,
I added the sucker for dramatic effect. Yes, thank you.
He would have. Adam
I went from like 350 subs to like 1,400 subs like that, and I have no. I had a live stream that got like 5,000 views. Like it was dumb.
Wow,
it was dumb. Just like with these reels, like. How did I get to 1 million? I went and looked at it one day and I was like, why do I have all these comments on this reel? And then I went and looked and I was like, oh my God, I got 1 million views on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's that random lightning in a bottle ridiculousness.
Oh yeah. Hard to repeat. I mean, you've done it
never
twice.
Happen again.
And then you do it again. I'm like, I look at mine. I'm like, oh man, I got 10,000 views on one video. Fuck yeah. All the other ones are 500. Oh, what's that?
Largo, we're
infinite playlist. Yes.
Yeah. So
I really like what Jim and Will do too. What they have going on.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. By the way, that was my idea.
Yeah, Aaron created Largo's lair. It was all his idea.
It was me.
And he said, "Jim, you should do this." And
Jim came to me with a thought.
Did you mail him the crazy fucking rooster too?
Well, one cock to another. You know what I'm saying?
Might as well.
No, Aaron's pitching this idea, and he's like, and then there's just like this really loud chicken in the back.
Yeah. I love it.
Eduardo
was born.
What else? What else we got? Where are we at?
We got tons of stuff here.
So much stuff. We stopped starring things, so we're gonna.
Yeah, we really did.
We are gonna wrap it up, chat. I promise. So,
simple question: favorite snack or drink while hobbying?
Is that for me?
I mean, I figure it's more of an in general question.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I was waiting for somebody to jump on that grenade.
I assumed all the questions were for you.
No one else asking us.
Nobody came here to watch us.
You came to watch my dumbass cats walking around.
You can ask your cats if you want.
A million views.
Oh, these cats are all about snacks. You saw the fat one, right? That's a lifetime of snacks. Anytime I eat anything, he's like, "Feed me." So he's the dude that you feed from the table.
Is that for me? Is that for me? Yeah.
Question: favorite snack and or drink when hobbying? Coffee and nothing else because I need my hands.
I usually have my beer with me. Always keep it nearby. Other than that, fruit snacks. Short little pop-ins, man.
Yeah. I'm also not a fan of eating things while hobbying because, as Chad said, you need the hands, and I don't want to get stuff gross, but I do consume a lot of beer. So
get those freaking Cheeto fingers.
Cheetos.
You're like, oh man, I'm gonna open this.
You know what? Sometimes it's worth it for those Cheetos, though.
That's fair. Time and place, right?
JMK is asking, are any of you gentlemen coming to assembly required in November? To be honest, I do not know what it is. So
we don't know. We're ignorant.
So AR is another one of those that I really, really desperately want to go to, right? But where I'm at in my retirement, it's unless I'm on my final leave, Mikey, I don't think I'll be able to come.
Okay, so but what is it though?
Yeah, just because there's so much they have to do. So there's this thing called terminal leave. So once I'm done, and then they're like, okay, you have 75 days of terminal leave. You have to burn all your leave before we can retire you. So I'm actually like getting paid because I'm owed that leave, but I'm not selling it because if I sold it, I'd only get like 40% of it. They tax the shit out of it. So I just take the leave.
Okay, but what's assembly required though?
It's another one of those big conventions.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear you ask that. Yeah, assembly required. It's a lot of companies and Operation, Carson and Operation Recall go, and Mikey and his dad John, who's in that picture with him. They're the call sign longbow guys, right? So call sign longbow goes. I think Skeletron went last time, or they're going this year, and a lot of those companies go. Fresh Monkey Fiction, Chicken Fried Toys, on and on and on.
Oh, I've never heard of it. So.
Yeah, check it out. Assembly required. It's one of the big ones. It's good.
And we just got like a couple more left. So anybody else still asking questions? We're sorry. We're shutting you guys down. We're gonna get through these last couple here.
I'm gonna rewatch this and I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
Necro Boogie Ramon's doing the Makina. Hope he continues with the whole line and makes new one. I mean, you leave it up to Ace. That man will do all the hidden gems that you want and that he thinks should be done. I mean,
yeah, I will heap all the credit in the world on him. And as much as I don't like reaction, because like reaction Joes are not for Joe people, they're for reaction people. And if Joe people like one or two, pick them up. But reaction has its own blocky aesthetic, points of articulation because it's reaction. But at least when Super 7 makes like some reaction Joes, they do that deep cut shit. They're like, oh, there's like some female cobras that you never saw, and here's the blind woodsman and like his sled dogs and stuff. And I'm like, dude, that's rad. Hasbro would never do that. And I will give Ace all the credit, just like I give Bobby and Valiverse all the credit, because they're like, here it is. This is what it's going to be. And people flock to it because, it has a sense of identity. Like it's there. It has weight. It's quantifiable. It's not just like, meh, throw a dart at the G.I. Joe wall and see what you hit. Fucking Tiger Force bazooka. Here it comes. It's sad, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no corporate bullshit.
I give them all the credit in the world. Like Chris from Grindhouse Toys, he did this Dread Trooper for Joe Fest, put it in a VHS case. Adam Riches helped him with the artwork and all that stuff. And it's an homage to the Create-A-Cobra from G.I. Joe, the mail away Create-A-Cobra, but it's not, right? It's like updated and the figures in here, and you get like blueprints and you get extra heads, extra kits, body armor, hands. This thing's so rad. It's just like, here it is, man. You want to come get it? People ate these up. I bought 5 of them.
That's actually really cool. I've never seen that.
Rad. Totally rad. Yep.
Huh.
He's still got them on his site, too. Check it out. Grindhouse Toys.
Yeah, we have to reach out to them.
Yes.
Talking about some business. Business.
Scott Hughes, why is it that Kenner was able to do mass wonderfully in the 80s with the most amazing action features ever made? Yet, with all the advances in modern manufacturing, it's too expensive to do it today. I feel like you kind of answered that question already, but you know.
Kind of. But Scott Hughes is rad, and Wolverines, hell yeah, right? But that being said, that's the state of the big 2 toy industry mindset. Like, oh, it's too expensive. We can't do it with enough detail, or we can't vac metalize because of the environment, so we have to use a different process. And God forbid you try to use real rubber tires, because they all said Firestone on them, right? So they paid for that. I don't know. It's just, we all grew up in a time that was very unique. We were lucky to get what we got in the 80s, and a lot of that is, hey, thanks to Reaganomics and deregulation, right? Because of the cartoons and the comics and the toys and the tie-ins and the cereal and all that stuff, the Licky Chewies and the fucking Jello pudding pops.
Jello.
But with the pudding pop. We grew up in the best time, and now that it's okay to be these adult children with disposable income, we still think like, I remember how it was when I would walk into the Toys R Us in Bridgeport, Connecticut, when I was a little kid and had to drive all the way there from Brooklyn because we didn't have a Toys R Us in New York at the time, and on and on and on, right? It just, the stacks of toys all the way to the ceiling. It's just not like that now for lots of different reasons. But the toy industry is its own best friend and worst enemy at the same time, because they put money in their own pockets, and then, with the other hand, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Right. And I don't know why they can't figure that out. When you see these independent toy creators, they put heart and soul and care and love and time and effort into what they do, and it shows. At Joe Fest this year, Hasbro was not missed. No one cared that they weren't there. And I'm sure some people would have liked to have seen, fucking Mutt and Jeff, Emily and Lenny, standing there talking their corporate bullshit. I'm sure some people would have loved to have walked up and kissed that ass and gotten pictures with him and whatever, just like they do at San Diego Comic-Con. But when you have this, right, Grindhouse, you got Mikey Kukovic and his dad, John, and you got the Call Sign Longbow guys, and you got the Skeletron guys, and, Corey's there with Skeletron right after Hasbro canned him. That dude was a fucking rock star at Joe Fest. Everybody was talking that dude up, which is cool because he got to see that people really cared about his work. But at the same time, a lot of it was because it was like, this week's fresh drama. So Hasbro's just not missed. And I don't know what Mattel's doing now, and they're going back to the whole Matty collector thing. And I don't really keep too many tabs on what's going on with Motu, but they're not missed. Who gives a shit? They're going to put out their products. They're going to put them where they want, when they want, how they want. People are either going to go scoop them up, or they'll just get them later from a bro, or they'll get the eBay exclusives, because why do your pre-orders sell out in 20 minutes when they're pre-orders? There shouldn't be a limit to pre-orders, but there always are. And then some fucking apologist always comes in and goes, "We're actually get the fuck out."
Yeah.
So I don't know. I I like the dealers. I like the stores. You know, guys like you guys, the 3 brick and mortar places here in town where I go who know me by name as a person. I'm not just somebody in there throwing money at them. Those are the people I want to support, and that's it.
Oh yeah. On that side note, it's more praise from me. You know, Largo's let me know that I am indeed the man.
He even gave you that Prince symbol.
Hell
yeah.
That was spot on, guys.
Dude, come on. I love Prince.
And then we'll have pancakes, bitches.
Fucking love that skit. I'm gonna watch that skit before I go to bed. But no, Ed's letting me know that I indeed gave the idea for Largo for the chicken and the hat. So
I forgot you gave him the hat idea too.
I did. Largo was not wearing a hat. I'm like, Largo, the hat is what's gonna really set your channel off. And he's like, why did I think of that?
Yeah, it's like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's a statement.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like I have to wear my shitty old operator's caps because 1, this is my lucky hat, and 2, you have not seen what my hairline looks like.
I mean, that's why this room is dark. Like it kind of covers in, the spots that are missing.
Yeah. It's to show off that awesome beard.
Right? It was much better back then.
That's a great beard.
Greg, yes, we are still going. We're gonna tie it up here in a minute. We know you have lives.
Well, I'm gonna ask, is there anything else in the chat before I give him the final blow?
I gave my little closing like that. That was your guys' chance to be like, bye.
It never works that way. No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, my last question, because there's a lot of people that were watching you, and some people were talking about the content that you created. Anybody making a YouTube channel and trying to start off in YouTube, what is your advice to them?
That was the second hardest question that you sent me. If I can say that, I don't know if that's like backstage shenanigery. What's your favorite figure in your collection was the first one, and then that one, because I think my answer would be don't take any advice from me. Honestly, I don't. I think if you're genuine and you love what you're talking about, no matter what, it's going to come through. If you're trying to make a video about something that you're not passionate about, I think people can smell that bullshit, and you don't want to be a disingenuous person. So just
Thanks, Matt.
Matt's awesome, dude. Just, do what speaks to you and don't worry about what's cool today or what's trending tomorrow. And that stuff is fake and it's bullshit. Always appreciate and celebrate the people in your chat, because it's the people in the chat that I always have a hard time. It's the people in the chat. I just did it again. It's always the people in the chat that like support you and keep you going and push you to do something more or different, or they're the ones that can help give you ideas when you're just like fucking brain dumping everything. And I think all of it is a two-way street. The conversation, the respect, the love of what we do and what we talk about, it should be real. It shouldn't be hey, I just went and picked up this stupid piece of shit at Walmart and now I'm going to do a unboxing of a figure that 999,964.2 other people could go get.
Right.
It's dumb.
I'm gonna actually follow up what you said with what I've learned both in like this channel and then like what I started on my own is don't worry about posting anything. Your first 3 months, get involved in the community and the thing that you in your niche, I guess that's the word to use.
Yeah.
Whether it's toys, video games, diorama, whatever it is, find that community. Be in that community first. Get your name out there. And then when you post that first video, it makes it all much more worth it because now you have people who know who you are will then come support what you're doing. Also, don't be me and pay attention to the analytics because it'll drive you crazy. Turn off the ticker. Turn the ticker off. Do not download YouTube
read that shit. I look at the analytics and I'm like, what am I, an accountant? And
no, it drives me nuts. This like he knows more. Like I will sit and rattle off all these numbers to him. He's like, I can't. Turn it off. Do not pay attention to any subscriber counts, watch hours. Don't look at the short that you created. Don't look at the views. Just keep pumping out content once you are established in your said community.
Yeah.
Everything else will come organically.
I used to gotta start there. Oh, I only gained 64 subs this month. And now I'm like, I put out some rad shit that I thought was cool.
Yeah. And that's the important thing. If you think it's good, I mean, it doesn't really matter what anyone else says, you know, if either they're going to watch it or they're not going to watch it. But if you put your hard work into it, or you just said, I'm just going to put some bullshit together and you thought it was good, that's all they care about. Everything else works out itself.
Yeah, absolutely. In some weird megalomaniacal way, I'm like, I'm speaking for the little guy who still likes 118 scale Joe because I fucking hate 112 scale stuff and I'm going to rant about it. People love it. And some people do. But I don't do it for all us little guys. I just do it because, like, I'd rather have this. And I think this is rad. And I hate Hasbro. And I hate to say that. Like, who would like to say that? Look at this is a lifetime behind me. And I'm like, I hate you, Hasbro. I hate your face.
I'll explain this later.
I know what the song is.
There's a story behind it.
Okay, all right.
Yo, wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Yo, B. You see the box that says wrap that shit up, B.
I want to talk to your manager. I am your manager, B.
Chad, what?
He was one of the best guys that would make cameos.
Oh my god, yes.
That shit up, B.
I can't.
Chad, what do you want to promote?
I mean, we were told to wrap it up. Wednesday night on my channel on Toy Talk, I'm going to have Mark Weber from What's on Joe Mind, who was one of the brand managers at Hasbro for G.I. Joe and Transformers, and we're just going to talk some plastic crack.
Awesome. Plus all the YouTube and Instagram links for It's Chad are in the description. Go check him out. Aaron, what do you want to promote?
Matt, this is Feeding the Ducks, by the way.
We are feeding the ducks.
What am I promoting? The Discord. If you're not in the Discord, hit that little button down there. Come join us. Talk Toy Talk, pickups, toy photography, or just shoot the shit. We're just trying to build a nice, good community of people. Just come hang and talk and just chill. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Also, we talked about it. We are on the road to hitting another milestone of 500 subs, 3,000 watch hours, and I have this PowerCon Demistros sitting here on my desk to one lucky person that will get it when we hit those two numbers. So help us get there. You get something cool.
Mine's all janky. I put a skull on him for whatever reason.
You remember how I said it's like a give and take relationship with your chat? It looks like they're trying to say go for 5 more minutes.
Well, we have a video to play. It'll hit. It'll hit
3 hours. Don't worry, we got it.
Hey Ted, I need to buy one of those mugs from you, dude.
Oh, I will. I'll see what I can do. It's a child labor. It's a child labor issue. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I don't mean like tomorrow. Just sometime in the future when you're standing in your kitchen scratching your ass, you're like, oh, Chad wants a mug next year. Just
no.
I got you, Chad. I got you.
No, Scott.
Scott.
Now,
Scott.
Labor Day weekend, maybe. I don't have to work that next day. Maybe we might get a little crazy.
We don't have a guest either yet.
I'm going. I'm going someplace top secret the day after Labor Day.
Area 51.
No.
Oh,
that would hit 1 million. That would hit 1 million.
Chad trying to infiltrate Area 51.
Car rent driving up to Area 51. What do you mean you won't let me in the gate? Place is bullshit.
Was that? Fucking
yes. Follow all the Hello Dope things. Check out the site. I'm always updating it with something. Stay tuned to the What's New This Week video.
I want to thank all the YouTubers that, put us up on their spot this week and tried to help get us to 500. We are almost there. So thank you to every single channel that took a moment to rally the troops. It did make some movement and we're a little bit closer, but it'll happen when it happens. And then we'll give some cool shit away. Yeah, follow us. Go to the store and buy some shit. Articulated Ninja went to our store and he bought some shit.
Yeah.
So if it's good enough for Articulated Ninja, it should be good enough for you too.
Yeah, what he just said. Yeah.
Go to helladopetoys.
I gotta say before we call it.
Okay.
I love what you guys do. I love your show. Obviously we have the back to back with me and you guys and Sonny, and I think that's fantastic. It's a fun Sunday. I always love your guys' enthusiasm, your guests, you keep it fresh. Your community and your chat are freaking top notch awesome. And I think you guys are just hella rad dudes.
Hell yeah.
Even though I hate the word hella. I hate it.
That's all right. Everyone thinks that we're from like California anyway, so that's what happens.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why I don't like hella, because like I'm a New Yorker and I know some people from California are like, dude, that's hella rad. And I'm like, shut the
hell yeah, big bacon. We're gonna buy something real soon.
Come on down, big bacon.
Big bacon.
He's gonna hate us. And he's like, fuck these guys.
Never mind, I'm going somewhere else.
And you guys are an awesome company. Like,
we appreciate it.
Love what you do and it shows.
It means a lot to us, man, because so much has changed in just a few months. It's absolutely insane every single time.
Scott, it's a hope. We could try to make it a Joe Fest. We can't commit to that just yet, but if the stars align,
it's a lot of moving parts.
I mean, I know a guy. Sam, I know a guy. I know a guy who knows some people who robbed some people, but
I know those people.
Yeah, you probably do, but
they're good people.
It'll hook you guys up, man. All
right. So Ted, go roll with this video. If you guys haven't seen the video or you're about to head out, come back, watch this video. It's good. It's episode 1 of Adventures of Skeletor. Check it out. Get that video to blow up. Like it, love it, comment on it. Get the algorithm on our side. I am the one and only. It's Blacknight. That over there, it's Ted, and our scheme guest of the day, it's Chad. Thank you guys very much, and always stay hella dope.
Here is Adventures of Skeletor, episode 1. Love you all.
Hell yeah.
He-Man, Skeletor's up to his old tricks again. I've recruited our friend Mossman to infiltrate Snake Mountain and get to the bottom of this. That's right, guys. Your friend Mothman here, master of spying and disguise. I'm gonna infiltrate Snake Mountain. I'm gonna make Skeletor spill all that tea. He's gonna spill so much tea, you're like, oh no! Somebody spilled all the tea! Who's gonna clean all this tea up? That's where you come in, He-Man. You gonna clean up that tea. Okay, bye! Beastman, Merman, I've just learned of the upcoming Eternia Ball. Oh yes, Skeletor, ball. Perhaps we should finally do some laundry. Quiet, imbeciles! Skeletor will be going alone to the ball. I will be disguised as a Nigerian prince, and I will convince all the people of Eternia that I, Skeletor, am the wealthiest man in the land. Mothman to Sorceress. Mothman to Sorceress. I'm at Snake Mountain in disguise. Skeletor's spilling all the tea and he doesn't suspect a thing. Beastman, Bossman, I don't know who this intruder thinks he is, but he smells like a dog turd doused in pine salt. Seize him and throw him in the cell immediately. I have a ball to attend. Mothman to Sorceress. Mothman to Sorceress. Mothman to Sorceress. Okay guys, bye!